Welcome, clobberers and Trekkies and Trekkers and Trekkets and Treckleads and Trekkoids and everything else you might be, clobberoids for that matter, whatever the hell you might be. We're glad you are here. Welcome to Clobbering. That too. That too. You always jump on there. I'm like, I never know when to expect it. I love that. Uh, Welcome everyone to Clobbering Times. ECU number 298 on YouTube, of course, but 998 overall. And it is wonderful to see so many great friends here popping in so early tonight. And I hope many more will join us shortly, accordingly, and all that good stuff. Number one, thank you for being here. Everyone say hello, of course. Big applause from the greatest first officer in the fleet, our beautiful first officer, Commander RM Briggs.
Well, it's pretty easy to be a decent commander when you have a captain like I have. Good evening, Claudia. I love you, my Star Trek soulmate. Thank you so much for having me. It's Saturday night Star Trek. The room is full. We're almost ready to rumble.
Oh yeah, my favorite time of the week. I'm just so glad to be here. And just what I love this gang. I love this community. If you don't want to call it community fellowship, hey, this crew. All right, we're a starship, folks. I love this crew that we have here. How about that? Will that work?
Yes, we have the best crew.
Yes, indeed. And before we say hello to that crew, let's take care of a little bit of business.
Ooh.
First up, oh well, see, I say that and then I don't even have it ready. I got to move my. I thought I had it loaded, and then I forgot it. Hang, here we go. Number one, my wonderful number one first officer is, of course, a writer, an author, and she has many wonderful works of science fiction available online. And I will let her now describe that to you because she knows I'm lousy at doing that. Every night that I'm here, I definitely tell everyone, but I don't know how to say it like you, so I just tell them and give them the link. So it's best when you do it.
You're a sweetheart of a human. You don't even have to do that. And so many people
Sure, I do.
use other people's spaces to promote their stuff. And sometimes they can be obnoxious about it. And I just want you to know that I'm really, really grateful for you promoting my work. And I want to thank the whole community, our crew, and the community writ large for supporting my work. You guys have been outstanding to me. I love you. And I appreciate you very much. Yeah, folks, if you like the old Twilight Zone, if you like Philip K. Dick, if you love Edgar Allan Poe, you might like my science fiction short stories. They're in that vein. And I'm putting together a bunch of them in a short story collection. But for right now, until I find a publisher, I'm selling them individually for under $1. They're only 74 cents, I believe, after the exchange in the United States. And I sure could use your support and some positive reviews to attract a publisher. It's hard to get short stories published nowadays. Most publishing houses are not interested in them, and they say so openly on their websites. So you mean everything to me in getting these stories out there and having people read them. So thank you to everyone in this marvelous community, and thank you, Clobby, for supporting my work. And Mazurus, I'd like to give a shout out to Mazurus, who bought my entire short story collection
Oh,
just a couple of days ago and gave me the most marvelous shout out on Twitter. Love you, Mazurus. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Well, thank you, Mazurus. Okay, well, everyone, quick show notes. Of course, Uh, I could, tomorrow night, of course, Monday on Sunday nights, our illustrious chief engineer, the great Mark D with a C, has Sunday night geekery at 11 p.m. Central. Excuse me, Eastern time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Please, any of you have the chance, please go subscribe to his channel. He'll put the link up, and please go check his channel. I'm usually there when I can be there, and on Sunday nights, it's a lot of fun if you just like geeking out and stuff. So please check that out. And Monday night Mark C Comics Talk. I will be talking about, well, comics related stuff. I think I'm going to be talking about a big comics artist list that I'm going to be commenting on and stuff like that. But the big one, Wednesday, February 9th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will be celebrating Clobbering Times episode number 1000.
And the crowd goes wild.
If they're still here, I show one person listening.
No, don't worry about
showing
that,
one
folks.
viewer.
That watch count is incorrect. It's incorrect YouTube wide. It looks like they're monkeying around with the engines, and so we may have gremlins, but everyone's got the gremlins. It's not just our ship; it's all over YouTube. So just ignore that watch count. It is horse hockey.
Cool. Well, it looks like they're still talking in there, so I guess you guys are hearing us. It never hurts to have a sound check. So, anyone want to let us know that if you're hearing us well, please let us know, and please let us if you're here if we sound okay. We always appreciate that because we have no way to sound check ourselves, and like a normal radio show has like sound checkers and all that stuff. We don't have that, so there you go. Oh, thank you so much. 1,000. I don't know how that happened. And I never thought I would get that far. Who knows? I still might not. The week is young. So, but we'll see. We will see. And I'm looking forward to that. And then after that, who knows? Maybe I'll just retire.
No, you're just getting started.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you. Thanks for the sound check, Chief Engineer, sir. And then, of course, hey, J-Man, we got to set the time. But a week from Monday, Clobby's Classic Comics Review, the classic indeed, the great Kingdom Come, my buddy J-Man, and I hope Sean will join us for that. And that's going to be on Valentine's night, so I don't know how you guys are getting away with it. You can sleep on the couch that night or what? I don't know, but so that'll be Valentine's Day night.
Isn't it weird that Chef always hears a pen clicking, but neither one of us click a pen? It's so weird how there are all of these different audio issues on the other end of this platform. Mr. Angel, I know you are sound sensitive. I just want you to know that we are at the maximum volume, so we don't hurt your ears, and our pens are down, Chef. So
no, mine's not. Actually, I am using a pen to write things down.
Are you?
I'm always holding a pen now. It seems I can't hear it when I press it hard. I don't know how he said, but he probably is hearing it. So it might be. Let's see here. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Okay. He must be hearing that.
Like a bat.
He does, but I have to use it to write things down, Chef. So sorry. I need it.
Wow. And here I thought I knew. I didn't know it.
No, I mean, unless he's hearing something else, I think it's possible that that's what he's hearing.
Well, it's just he has bat ears.
Look, I can hear the pen. There's again. I'm glad you guys are
looking the pen.
If you guys had
the pen,
if you guys had never told me, I would not know that because I can barely. But I'm messing with it. I can't hear it.
Good stuff. Look, Nurad Anaximandabear can hear it as well. This is hysterical. I cannot hear anything, and I don't have poor hearing. So
in that case, folks, in stereo. Pen. Sorry. I bet you heard that. Okay.
Stop licking that pen. Take a pencil. Yes, it's that
pencil.
sound.
I hate pencils.
That's so funny.
Well, there you go. Pencils are made of lead. I'm from the planet Daxam. Lead is deadly to us. All right. So, well, there we go. We've got a mystery solved thanks to the chef.
Yes. Ship's Chef, everyone. That is Mr. Angel. You will hear us referring to him as Ship's Chef because he is a chef in real life. Therefore, we made him a chef.
And now we made him an angry chef.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not enjoying that.
Everybody's a critic.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, we're about to be critics tonight again. So, what we do, folks, I guess I should, for anyone who's new here, and you never know when new folks might pop in. We talked about this a little bit before we came out. What we do here is, of course, we celebrate Star Trek, pure and simple. And Star Trek, by that we means actual, real deal, legitimate Star Trek. Hello there, Sherry.
Hey, gorgeous.
Great to see you, my dear. Beautiful lady. And when I say Star Trek, I mean 1966 to 2005. When we started the show a little over a year ago, we started reviewing the original series. We moved to the animated series, the original crew films, and now we are around mid-fifth season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we do about usually we do about 4 episodes per night, and on Saturday nights, and basically I am let's see here. What was I going to tell you? I got distracted because I saw something in the chat because I'm trying to see the names coming through. Um, Basically, we talk about the episode. Raquel reads from a text that we're going to talk to about in a second. She reads from a text, and then we talk about the episode a bit, give some opinions on it. She gives some notes, and then we rank the episode. What she thinks of it as a rank A to B, A B C D, whatever, and so forth. And then I do it, and then I ask our wonderful friends in the chat. I hold on to it till I give you the word, and then you give your. You can just give a rating. You can give a rating and make a couple comments about the show, the episode as you choose, and we read those.
We sure do.
But before we do all of that, we like to acknowledge all of you because you've been so great to us over time, and just such a wonderful part of this show that we never knew that was going to turn into this. We didn't know that it was going to be such a fun, interactive experience. Reading your thoughts and views on the show. It kind of grew organically. No, I didn't really expect anything like that. But now we, because of that, because you're all such an important part of the show, I write the names down, and before we start, and then after the show ends, we shout everyone out. So we're going to do that very quickly right now before we get into our episodes for the evening. Are you ready, number one?
Let's do it, boss.
All right. He arrived here first, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Evening.
So whoever gets there first, we'll say that for them. And then we'll take the detour to say hello to our 2 crew members, which are, of course, the great Mark D. with a C, our chief engineer, and the lovely and wonderful anti-derivative Jill, our chief communications officer. Yeah, so good to see you both. Thank you both for being here. And let's see who. All right, so we have Nirat and Axamanda Bear. Hello there, Nirat. Welcome.
Evening.
We have a new face I've not seen before. So, it's a name. We're calling it a face, but it's a name. And that's Eric Carroll. Hello there, Eric Carroll. Welcome. We always like new folks to pop in. We really appreciate you.
That's true, Eric Carroll. That is absolutely true. Your comment that you just put up, that it is true. There are always clearly way more people here than what it says. It's going on all over YouTube. So I'm not sure what's happening. It could be a platform upgrade or whatever have you. But yeah, very clearly inaccurate. And I'm going to echo and amplify my captain's sentiments here. Welcome. It's nice to meet you, and I hope you have a great time tonight. I beg your pardon. Sorry for interrupting you, Captain. Please continue.
Okay, Phantom Outsider.
Evening.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Your Muslim uncle. Oh, my friend. I hope you were doing well. Thank you for being here. Parrothead popped in. Oh, Parrothead. What's you old rascal? Good to see you, Parrothead. The great, magnificent, and I got to say, we call him Hungry Boy, but his name at the moment is Hungry for Satire to Have Some Bite Again, said Barnabas. He with the Barnabas Collins avatar. Good to see you there, my friend.
If you've never met Hungry Boy before, look forward to his comments this evening. We're a tight-knit community, and we have a lot of very erudite, wonderful people around here. Hungry Boy is a professional comic book artist. I believe I think he also writes comics, but for obvious reasons, he has to materialize here and be a part of our crew anonymously. So if you're looking at that Hungry for Satire to Have Some Bite Again, says Barnabas, he's not a troll or some anonymous person in the chat. He's very near and dear to us, and he has a lot of really smart, funny, and wonderful things to say. So watch out for that, cool cat.
Mr. Tickle Trump, thank you so much for the $2 Canadian. I think it's Canadian Super Chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Says, I hope the Claboni is fueled and ready to go. Maybe not. I don't know. Who could say? Well, it's always fueled and ready to go, though, actually. So it's ready to go, no matter what. If we need it, it's ready, bud. The great Snorta Poopus.
Huber. Hopefully that
Raymond.
wasn't too loud.
Oh, it was fine. It was perfect. Are you kidding me? It was fine. Raymond and Sandra Feliciano. Hello there, Felicianos.
The most romantic wrenches in all of YouTube land. Two very cute people, Raymond and Sandra. Good evening. I see you blowing kisses in class. You guys, you know, if you're going to share notes, you have to share notes with the whole class. Kidding. Love you guys. Good to see you.
And they call him Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete! Welcome.
Yeah, I should have warned. I guess they're all saying I should have warned everybody about some of the names to get yelled out by Raquel. I should have warned everybody, but they'll know now.
I'm Clobby's personal soundboard.
Indeed. Baserus, welcome.
Ethan.
Hello. Good to see you. Kal-El Buddy. Hey there.
Nice to see you, the real Superman.
There you go. There you go. J-Man Brother. Great to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well, man.
He did show up. Good to see you. Nice to see you.
Yes, indeed. Your Muslim uncle, thank you so much for that super sticker. I do appreciate you, sir. You are too kind. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Very much
Thank
so,
you.
Very much so.
Michael Beacom. Hello, Michael Beacom. Good to see you there, my friend.
Speaking of intelligent community members, so nice to see you, Michael. Can't wait to hear your comments on this evening.
It is absolutely great to see you there. Terrell 72. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Tyrell. Nice to see you.
Always good to see you. We also have with us this evening the great bronze wrencher himself, Eric K. What's up, buddy?
Nice to see you. Good to see you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Enigmatic Drop Bear.
Enigmatic Drop Bear.
ED, good to see you there.
The erudite bear.
That too. Maybe that's what the E really stands for.
If that's what it is.
Yeah. Pleasant Valley Picker. Hello there. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you.
Hey, BC. Nice to see you.
Dadman and the Dadman clan. Misses as well. Good to see you both. Dadmans.
Dadman clan. Evening.
Chuck Marble. Hello there.
Evening, Chuck.
Good to see you. Good to see you. The aforementioned chef, Mr. Angel. Hey, man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And, of course, the aforementioned lovely Sherry. And anyone else who pops in? Maybe I'm not seeing them all. I'm not sure. I will definitely give them a shout-out when possible. So we will get moving now, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
On our episodes. What do you think? So number one, we'll explain her source, and then we'll get going.
Well, good evening, 735 Club. That's how I refer to you, because there are 735 iterations of this marvelous thing that Gene Roddenberry created for us. Tonight, we have made our stop on season 5. We're already at episode 10. And if you're joining us and you're playing it out as a podcast, you can't see what's on the screen right now. And what's on the screen right now is the image of a book called Star Trek 365: The Next Generation. It's written by a woman named Paula M. Block. Now, she's a prolific writer for Star Trek. She gets a little bit of help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman. And of course, this book has the official blessing of Ronald D. Moore, but the entire cast and crew and production and everyone involved. You see, unlike many of these user-generated sources, what we use here tonight is original source material, and this marvelous text is great at that. This is first-hand information taken from the cast, the crew, those involved with production, those hired to be on the show as guest stars. And so it offers a little bit of a summary, and then we get to hear the inside scoop. Only it's not like the internet where you're not sure if it's true or not. Here we have in-person interviews. So I'm going to be reading from that. And right now, if you have a copy of this book, and many of you do, I'd like you to turn to page 236, because tonight we are covering New Ground. Yes, folks, 4 episodes this evening, and we're starting with New Ground, which is season 5, episode 10. The first time we all watched this, well, the first time most of us watched this, was December 30th, 1991. I'm going to read extemporaneously from this text, which means I might make some mistakes. If I do, keep your fruit to yourself.
Hey, I see some exchanges, and I really wish people would tell us this kind of stuff. They're saying like a warbling type of noise or something like that. And Hungry Boy mentioned it, and Mr. Angel mentioned it. Anyone else hearing anything like that? Are we sounding okay? I mean, I don't can't do much about it if we don't really hear about it. So
I don't know. I never even moved my mic from last week.
oh, I move mine. I move mine sometimes, but I mean, I'm just depends on when they hear it. I guess I don't know.
Can I get a few thumbs up? If there are at least 5 or 6 thumbs up, I will continue reading from page 236 of the block text.
Might be a fan or AC unit. Neuron says I don't know. I don't have one.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, Mr.
Not you,
Angel's
Clobby.
saying it's not you,
YouTube.
Clobby, it's
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, I got you. All right. Well, thank
Tyrell
you
and
all.
Scuba Pete are letting me know everything's okay. All right,
Thank
folks,
you.
I'm just going to take off.
Thank
Let's
you
do
so
it.
much. Okay, let's go for it with the episode. Thank you so much, my friends.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Worf is less than thrilled when his foster mother, Helena, arrives with Alexander in tow. Although Helena and Worf's foster father, Sergei, had agreed to raise the boy after Kalar's death, Helena now reports that Alexander is having a difficult time adjusting to his new life. He needs to be raised by his father on the Enterprise. Predictably, Worf and Alexander have a difficult time adjusting to one another, a situation aggravated by the ship-based experiment that becomes life-threatening. The thing that director Robert Shearer liked best about New Ground was that it presented a touching story between two characters that just happened to be aliens. It didn't matter what they looked like, Shearer said. It was simply people dealing with people. Shearer also got a kick out of working with the actors behind those alien facades, particularly the shorter one. Brian Bonsall loved playing Alexander, he says. That boy had more fun just putting on and wearing the Klingon makeup. On the first day, he was a little nervous, but by the second day, he was a real pro. Shearer gives credit for the change in Bonsall's performance to the taller actor Michael Dorn. Michael is big and hulky, Shearer says, but he's also a very sensitive guy. I talked to him about the basis of a father's love, all the frustrations a father has to deal with, and he understood. It was Shearer's notes. It was, Shearer notes, a unique place for Dorn's character. Quite often, Worf's position on the ship, particularly the bridge, is to feed lines to others, or feed them shots. I'm just adding that. Forget it. It was a pleasure that he had something to do with some body in this. New Ground marked Bonsall's first appearance as Alexander. The character had debuted a season earlier in Reunion, played at that time by a young actor, Jon Stewart. Although the director of Reunion, Jonathan Fakey Pants, managed to develop a close relationship with Stewart, the little boy was deemed too shy for subsequent appearances. Thus, Bonsall, whose tenure on Family Ties proved that he could handle a reoccurring role on a television series, got his chance to visit the makeup chair and the 24th century. There is another tile, and I'm going to read it. If you're following along, I'm going to be reading from the block text, page 237, keeping copyright compliant. Fans of country music likely think that they know everything about singer Eddie Rabbitt. But are they aware that the Nashville superstar was also a major Star Trek fan? By the Next Generation's 5th season, the cast and crew were so used to celebrity visitors on the Paramount set that Rabbitt's impromptu appearance during the filming of New Ground didn't faze them in the least. In fact, it seems they gave his presence a big thumbs up. Rabbitt began his singing and songwriting career in his native Brooklyn, but it was a move to Nashville and the sale of his song Kentucky Rain to Elvis Presley that jump-started his career. And what a career it was. Between the years of 1976 and 1989, he scored 26 number-1 hits on the country charts and 8 top 40 hits on the pop charts. Rabbitt was no stranger to Hollywood. His song Every Which Way But Loose served as the theme song for the Clint Eastwood movie of the same name. And one of his biggest hits, Driving My Life Away, was written for the film Roadie. Sadly, Eddie Rabbitt succumbed to lung cancer in 1998 at the age of 56. It was just 6 years after his tour of the Enterprise. And that
Yeah.
is all the block text has to say about New Ground. Captain, I'm going to put it over to you. What did you think of the coverage? And what did you think of the episode?
Well, first, let's say hello to Six. Six, it's great to see you there. Hey, Six. And Tom, Midnight Edge After Dark. Tom,
Oh,
good to see you.
Tom. Mwah, mwah. Oh, and TMF is
And
here.
TMF's here. All right, TMF. Good to see you, buddy.
And Mrs. TMF.
And Mrs. Okay. All right. Great to see you, my friends. Great to see you. Thanks for popping in. Interesting coverage. I think that the coverage is more interesting maybe than the episode. I did not know that about Eddie Rabbit.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, another one of those two-tiered episodes that it's character stuff. I have no real strong feelings for it one way or the other, to be perfectly honest with you. The stuff about hello there, welcome Captain Trek.
Good evening.
I have no strong feelings about it one way or the other, to be honest. I know that sounds bad because we're supposed to be reviewing it and stuff. And I got to be honest with you, I just found it to be just sort of a kind of their episode. It's okay. I don't really dislike it that much or anything, but I'm not all that worked up with either. So we could just basically go on with your notes now.
Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with the format, folks, let me just tell you now. I watch Star Trek in order every single year, starting on January 1st. I have so since it was possible, but way back in the analog days, rust on tape. Hysterical, isn't it? So I thought, what could I add here? And so rather than offering a formal review, I take notes during the show. And so I sort of pepper what I think about the episode through these notes as I write them in pencil to paper. Very old-fashioned, isn't it? So here are my notes. I wrote, Sweet Georgia Brown. I'd love to just break into song and sing Sweet Georgia Brown because I absolutely love Georgia Brown. I love this lady. I think that she is such a beautiful lady. And folks who have been around here a lot know why I love this lady. I think not only is she a prodigiously gifted actor, just absolutely marvelous portrayal of what it's like to be an adoptive mom, and just her face, her whole visage, her whole countenance. I love Georgia Brown. I would like you all to know, though, that there's a reason why this is the last time she appears in Star Trek. She died 5.5 months after this episode.
Oh, wow.
She had an intestinal blockage and she was rushed to emergency, and they were unable to save her life. So I would just like to shout out to a woman who I love. Her name is Georgia Brown. I call her Sweet Georgia Brown. The adoptive mom that every kid who has ever been given up, that's the mom that every kid wants. So what a beautiful and compelling actress. God rest her soul.
Yeah, she was always delightful.
Yeah. And, I read these notes extemporaneously. So I added Brian Bonsall replaces young Jon Stewart, but that, of course, was covered in the block text. I also wrote, It's very weird that Worf abandoned his son, and they highlight this by Worf negotiating with his mom about not wanting his own child. The episode merely illuminates a military vessel with children on board, a military flagship that oft finds itself in peril or in battle. Worf and Alexander use Khalees instead of Kales in this episode. This should have been noticed and corrected during filming.
Right.
Robert Shearer, I would like to say it rhymes with Shearer. He shit'd the bed there and should have cleaned that up. We might need the clawbony for it. Jadar from B'Elanna 3. Just this species is just terrific. I love it. I want more. And of course, that's from the B story in this episode. I also wrote, Alexander saw his mother murdered, and his abandonment excuses, like the ones from Worf, they ring hollow. They're cheap and they're cold. This episode tries to explain away why Worf is a bad father. Instead, it leaves us wondering why Worf is such a bad person. Brian Bonsall is a delightful and talented little man. Especially in this scene where he's coughing, he manages to use his whole throat to cough, mimicking smoke inhalation. I just think that he did a marvelous job and immersed himself in this character and in this species. He's a marvelous little young man. This is not my favorite episode. I think that it jeopardizes the audience's feelings about Worf. His abandonment of his own child seems inexplicable. Then I wrote here, Counselor Camel Toe fails to treat a child with brutal PTSD and abandonment issues. So not only does she not mention that, but you're going to hear me bring this up in a later episode that we're going to be covering. But I just want you all to connect to the fact that Counselor Camel Toe said absolutely nothing about poor little Alexander's brutal PTSD after watching his mother being murdered, and then his father completely rejecting him and acting like a total POS by just ditching him, dumping him on his parents before he could even get to know him or even assess what his son had experienced by watching his mother brutally murdered in front of him. So not my favorite episode, boss. And those are my notes.
Yeah, it's the stuff with the Soliton wave was, fairly interesting. And again, but it was another one of those things. And we should have started making a list. Things that are mildly interesting that that we never see again. There comes throwaway stuff that you almost want to see them some follow up on. But it's not even like an A-B story here. It's like a B-B story. There's no A story really.
What a great way to describe it, Captain.
It's just. Oh, by the way, we have some newcomers here. Of course, the great Monkey Jeebus. Good to see you there.
Monkey Jeebus.
Jeebus. James Caserta. Hello there. Tiki
Evening.
Doom. Welcome, Tiki Doom. And our great pal.
What a great name. Tiki Doom.
Oh, absolutely. And by the way, our great pal, JT Kirk.
Evening. JT Kirk is here?
Yeah.
I can't even see you in the chat. Hey, baby.
I got him. JT, good to see you, buddy. And Keely Chow, roll tide.
Roll tide.
So, yeah, it's overall, it's just a kind of, I can't say I hate it. I just don't care about it. It's one of these episodes that I have to stop. I have to wake up and go, put me to sleep. Let me go back again and watch it a couple times, or not watch it over again. It's stop where I left off and go, I guess that's good enough. Let me watch this. It does very little for me. It doesn't even do enough to aggravate me. It's just kind of but by the way, I agree with your notes and your criticisms and your notes about the questionable, Worf being a questionable father, the way that's written. I can't stand that stuff.
Yeah, he's supposed to be about honor. He's very manly. And I remember, in 1991, I found this character incredibly sexually attractive. I thought he was a very strong male character, the kind of masculinity that I liked. It's funny because it's a coincidence they mentioned the Clint Eastwood movie. I like that kind of thing, and it was a time, and it was the place, and it was the space for that. Yeah. And I just think that he acts really. It's not in keeping with the character that we're building, the character that's been written on the mind's eye, that's felt in the heart. He's not behaving in a way consistent with the character that we love. He's our friend on screen, and he's not behaving as a gallant, honorable man. He's behaving like a POS.
Yeah, it's that, and the episode to me is just kind of a blah bore, to be perfectly honest. I've seen way worse, but I don't like it much either. So,
yep.
What is your rating and ranking of what? Oh, New Ground. See, it's so dull. I was like, what is it called again? And Papa Delta Yankee. Welcome. I've not seen you here before.
It's nice to meet you. He's a Papa Delta Yankee says, toxic femininity alert. Raquel finds a man sexually attractive. Fire, cancel, torpedoes.
She is toxic. That's one.
I'm a 100% toxic female. The thing is that I feel like you do, Captain. This did not even elicit enough emotion out of me for me to call on the Clawbony. I can't even call in the Clawbony for cleanup. because I love what you said earlier. There's no primary story here. It's like a B story folded in with a B story. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even elicit a strong response. So,
Yeah.
Boss Man, I'm giving this episode, New Ground, a C+.
Well, we think so much alike. I got it at a C, and it's only because you have to have some sort of scale, and you got to get below a C or C minus. You got to be borderline on bad. I don't think it's necessarily just bad; it's just not very good. It's kind of really in that. Maybe we should give it an M for meh or something. But yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
well,
one of those. I mean, I've seen
if Mega
someone.
Cropper shows up tonight, we might get a meh out of him, or our wonderful bronze wrencher. I definitely think Eric might.
Who knows?
Eric.
Yes. Some of our friends might really dislike it. We'll find out because now I'm going to put the word. I'm going to give the word. The word is given. I need to make a little never mind. The word is given, my friends. Please give your ranking and any comments you may have on the episode. New Ground. Go.
Yep.
Scuba Pete jumped one in there quick, man. Fire at will. Oh, let me. Are you doing the starring?
I am, Boss Man. I don't know if you can hear that clicking, but it's
there.
happening.
You go.
There's just lots of hiccups in the chat when it starts to happen.
Mega Cropper is here. I didn't see Mega Cropper. Did you
see Mega Cropper?
Hey, Mega Cropper. Welcome. He sneaks in there, the Mega Cropper.
He does, under the radar.
Yep, stack them, pack them, and rack them, and we'll start reading them. So here we go.
They're coming in now. They're coming in hot.
All right. Well, you do that. I will read them. What a team. What a team, number one. All right. Hopefully we're at the beginning here. I think we are. Scuba Pete. Let's see here. Scuba Pete says C minus. And it's very special. TNG, Worf and Alexander struggle with meh filler episode. I hear you, partner. Mega Cropper will say a B. And that's all Mega Cropper will say. Mega, good to see you. Succinct as always. Thank you. The Comic Relief Crusader says F mehness. I see what you did there. Oh, Father, where art thou? Doth no one hear mine pleas for love and attention as I am dumped on a ship by my grandparents to a father who thinks I'm an inconvenience and an inept camel toe? Yeah, tough times for Alexander. No wonder he grew up so screwed up. And no wonder he aged so quickly as well, because he's aged quickly. I'm not going to go into it now, but I'm sorry. The aging of Alexander is a problem, folks.
Don't even go there. That's a whole can of worms.
From here to Deep Space Nine, on both. He's like, what? I don't know. Never mind. But yeah, you better not. But Raymond Feliciano says C minus. Crank. I think he means a minus. Crank up the Claboni. Spoiler alert: Worf's poor parenting skills will bite him in the arse in Sons and Daughters. DS9. Yes, we could. A few more of those, we could see a Claboni. I mean, people really want it that much.
Love it, Raymond. I totally agree.
Mr. Tickle Trunk says, C. Why would you use a soliton wave to transport anything when it's clearly the ultimate super weapon in the galaxy? It travels at warp speed and can destroy planets. That's a little bit of a problem. You're correct. There were some nice moments, like seeing a father save his son, as well as seeing either of Worf's parents. Always makes me genuinely smile every time I see them. Worf is now a bad father. Well, at least for this episode, it was.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't like Worf as somebody who abandons his own child and then basically, spends 20 minutes negotiating with his mom in 10 forward as to why he doesn't want his own kid. It doesn't sit right with a lot of people.
It's like I say all the time, say very frequently since we've been doing this show. This show's so wildly inconsistent with all things, even in character development and even in characterization and character evolution. It's just all over the place sometimes.
Yeah, once you take away Kuhn, and Roddenberry and Fontana, and that holy trinity is not there to proof things, to make sure that things taste right and that they have the right amount of salt, and there's lots of beautiful continuity there. I'm using mixed metaphors and shouldn't, but you get my point. You need these people lovingly overseeing these characters and these stories
Yes.
in order to have that consistency.
Yep. And this didn't happen much. This is like by committee. The show so often.
Yeah.
In terms of characterization and stuff. At least the counselor, quote in quotations, tries to counsel terribly. I'm really glad Jeremy now has a brother as well as a father figure through Worf. What? The writing room ate him. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and Mr. Tickletrunk is raising a really good point. I mean, at this point, we believe Worf to be so loving and kind that he has adopted this child. He adopted Jeremy. Jeremy is incredibly important to him, and he's promised to love and protect Jeremy for the rest of his life because he lost his parents. And here he is, like I said, negotiating to never see his own child until his child is fully raised. It doesn't make sense. Mr. Tickletrunk, I love you. I'm reading between the lines. I know exactly what you're saying, and you're dead to right. You're dead to right, baby.
Hungry Boy says, C plus. Child actors can make or break an episode, and I thought the young rose admirably to the task. He did.
Yes.
He was a good little actor. I well remember him from Family Ties. Having known many Balkan people who went through these issues, I have issues with it, but glad Star Trek tried to tackle them. Gotcha. The great Snowtroopers Cuber says, C. Star Trek meets Kindergarten Cop. Troy actually acting as a counselor and still failing miserably. If anything, this episode shows why there shouldn't be children aboard a starship.
See, the good bear is thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Please
Indeed.
throw some Arctic char and some chin scritchies in that chat for the good bear, for the big wet bear.
Indeedishness, Worf's inability to perform his duties without constant interruptions to deal with issues caused by his son are fun and are the highlight of a dull episode. Fair enough. And the B plot with the Soliton wave leads to an all too convenient and transparently contrived way to put Alexander in danger. R.I.P. George Brown. That is a well-made point as well. You
love
good
you,
bear.
love you.
And we now have not only we have two dear friends. First up is our wonderful communications officer. If you would do the honors, number one.
All right, I think I got everybody started. So
Cool.
Let's get at Jill. This is Anti-Derivative Jill. She is our Chief Communications Officer. She is a fellow nerd, a fellow INTJ, and mathlete. We love Jill. And here is her gloriously nerdy response. She got a 4-parter for this episode, and she's giving it a C-. She says only Geordi cares that they are going to run an experiment on a potentially breakthrough method of travel before more beneficial than warp drive. I like Data's unintentional joke about history. 2 of 4, she says, they failed to explain why sending the wave to the scattering field didn't work to disperse the wave. Just randomly became a planet destroyer, requiring torpedoes to stop it. A throwaway B plot.
Yeah.
3 of 4, Jill says, we also had no indication as to the brought up mystery of the power fluctuations that caused the experiment to fail to begin with. We'll never see this method of warp travel again anyway.
True.
And 4 of 4, she finishes up by saying, Worf has to face a life-threatening event to decide to attempt fatherhood. I love you. At least we find he never saw Alexander as a burden, but it's not very satisfying. The writer's greatest failing with Worf. Take a bow, baby. Take a bow. I totally agree.
Well said, Jill, as always. And the great enigmatic drop bear.
It's another good bear. I'm
We got the best bears here.
what's my nickname again? I'm like the redhead and the instead of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, somebody came up with the Irish lady and the Three Bears or something like that. Anyway,
I don't know.
all right. So enigmatic drop bear, the erudite bear. He's got a six-parter. He's giving this episode a C plus. He says, whilst Worf's reunion with Alexander details with the consequences of an absent father, the crew simultaneously deals with the consequences of an errant science experiment. 2 of 6. Individually, both stories are unexceptional. Combined, however, they are discordant. Unfortunately, this discordance manifests in numerous contrivances. For example, Alexander's presence and timely rescue from the burning biolab in imminent danger of lethal radiation was a forced method for tying together the A and B stories. That's a good point.
Yeah.
4 of 6. It relied on the false jeopardy of an unexplained failure of the communication systems that prevented Worf's and Riker's comm badges from working. Yeah, that was another thing. 5 of 6. Similarly, Worf and Riker being unable to lift the collapsed beam that was trapping Alexander, yet Worf was then able to lift it by himself. This contrivance enables a father-son rescue. Yeah, it's sort of like those old episodes of That's Incredible where they talk about, like a mother that only weighs
Right.
110 pounds lifting a pinto off of their child because, they felt the love. And it was a contrivance, enigmatic drop bear, and I love that comment.
For me, it felt more like a Lassie episode, but that's just me. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was pretty over the top. I hope everyone had a slice of cheese prepared. Enigmatic drop bear, 6 of 6 says there were a number of other incongruencies that distracted one's attention. Example: the soliton wave's efficiency drops from 98 to 73, yet its velocity and energy level both increase. Yeah, enigmatic drop bear. Jill and I also found the science. Remember, science fiction is supposed to be grounded in fact, just facts we haven't realized yet. And science fantasy is when it breaks those laws, it breaks those rules, and doesn't attempt to be realistic or something we can attain.
Yeah.
So here we see that, and enigmatic drop bear, Jill and I are not convinced.
There you go. Let's see here. We have our wonderful friend Sandra. Sandra, wow, there's the ultimate compliment.
I thought you'd like that.
It really didn't impress me enough to give it a grade. Wow, Sandra, that's a grade in and of itself. Mrs. Dadman Walking says, and it's good to see you here. Nice lady. C minus. 2 very weak stories in one episodes. Kind of wish we had more Wesley and Riker. Just kidding. You better be kidding. You better be kidding. No. Thank you, Mrs. Dadman. We appreciate you.
Love it.
Cal L. Buddy, he says, C. This episode has some interesting character development for Worf and his relationship with his son Alexander. The secondary plot of testing a revolutionary new propulsion technology was a standard plot device, but I can totally understand Geordi's excitement in being able to witness a potentially historic event. A fairly good episode, but not a particularly memorable one. Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Let's see here. The great Eric K says, the Brincher of Bronze says D minus. Wow. Counselor Kamato, once again, is a joke. Why not just send them to Guinan? At least common sense. Yeah. Yeah, Terrell, and only the fictional Guinan, never.
Yeah, you don't want to be going near the real life Guinan.
Yeah, not the real life Guinan. They make Worf a joke. Alexander's a joke. Alexander, terrible, just disappointing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I knew Eric was going to respond like that. It's so disappointing. It's very disappointing. Jill was saying how disappointing it was as well. Many people are disappointed by this episode.
Indeed. Papa Delta Yankee says, as much as I miss high budget shows having 24 episodes, this is a good example of why shorter seasons are smarter. I got to admit, even I'm maybe a convert to that eventually when it's in some ways, although I think shorter, I might be with you with some, but like 6 and 8 episodes is a little bit much, a little bit not enough. But yeah, there's got to be a happy meeting ground there somewhere. But I understand what you're saying there, and thank you so much. Wolfie says, rating B minus. The Tale of Two Mr. Woofs. This is the not so great version. The soliton wave blows over about as quick as the warp drive speed limit.
Yeah.
Extra credit for the puppet monsters.
Who incidentally don't have any problem with the radiation they've been exposed to or the smoke inhalation.
Yep. Did he have another one? Who was that again? Was that who was that? I must have missed his second one.
I don't know. I'm trying to hit them all, but I don't know if you can notice or not, but it really jumps a lot after I star one.
That's cool.
I
can't remember who that was now. Can't remember who that was now. Anyway, all right. Phantom Outsider says C. The fact that that was a one-on-one. That's what. Because sometimes if you got more than one, please tell us for sure. But if you don't, just do one. I don't even put the number. C. The fact that Alexander lied and Worf was like, Klingons don't lie, really? Galron.
Yeah.
Why didn't Worf use it? He's a quarter human trope. Hey, let's test unproven technology on a ship with families on board. That's one of three. Yes, I hear you.
You raise a good point, and I bring it up a lot, and a lot of the newer fans don't like me for that. The filth fans hate me for that, but it's true. You really have to decide whether or not this is a military vessel, and bringing in writers who write as though it's not a military vessel, as though it's some type of science vessel one week, and then the next week we're back to it being a military vessel. It's very discombobulated, and it definitely messes with the characters, the characterization, and the story proper. Because even though it's written in episodes, it needs to have a reliable narrative filament and a character filament, right? So, yeah, it's annoying.
Yep, absolutely. What must that Starfleet registration form look like? The insurance rates must be astronomical.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have money. It's all insurance settlements.
Yep.
Why was that planet destroyed?
Yep.
Why was that planet destroyed? Was it destroyed, or it was going to be destroyed?
No, I don't think so.
It was endangered, but they saved it, right?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm reading in the chat. Six is talking to me. Sorry.
No problem. I can't see anybody else who showed up, but I'm not seeing the current chat, anyone. So if you're there, I'm not ignoring you. I have my eyes on the starred chat so we can read these reviews. The chief engineer is unaware of any possible problems that might occur during transportation experiment. Did they not study early Earth attempts to get into space? I don't know. Good question.
I'm sorry. Please excuse me for 1 second. I beg your pardon, Captain. A million apologies. Eric Carroll, you're damn right. You're damn right. Starfleet is a navy. You're damn right. And TMF, don't feel ignored. I love you.
Is he ignored?
No. Go ahead, Captain. Sorry.
TMF says, Dr. Manflu says, F minus part 376 of 2,876. We'll be here a while, folks. Worf. As a bad dad, sure. Counselor Camel Troy is the worst character in the history of storytelling. Not even Riker's massive forehead can save the ship.
It's true. Not even the armadillo on the man's forehead can save the day. Totally agree. Love you, TMF. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mr. Angel, Chef says, C. It would have been lower, but Worf, I have a weak spot for Worf episodes. This episode, I sympathize with Picard. Get those kids off my combat ship. Get those children off my bridge. Michael Beacom says, D+. This series has more daddy issues than backstage at a strip club. Whoa. Why do they keep wanting to hobble their characters with kids? I don't understand it either. It's never something I cared much for either, Michael.
And we get quite a line of it here. And what's really sad is that this is in production order, and we're going to get quite a a line of it here in succession, and it's super annoying. So the Club Oni may have to come out to address this crap later.
They threw kids Picard's way until they realized Data was his surrogate son. This is Worf's turn again. Spilt stories, insufficient attention to either. Yep. Hang on a second, Michael. Getting there and find. That was the only one I had by Michael.
I think so. Like I said, it's jumping around, but I think I got everybody.
Okay, Michael. That's the last. If there's another one, let me know because that's the last one
That's all I see on my side, boss man. Sorry.
I got to go to TMF. I think it might have been. Maybe I saw it wrong. I may have been looking at it wrong. I thought that was we did more than that one, but that's okay. If we had more, some people put a number even if there's only one. So anyway, part 377 of 208,076 by Toxic Man Flu. I started a GoFundMe to get Patrick Stewart to say release the Club Oni instead of make it show in all the TNG films. I'm with that.
Oh, that tweet won that comment won the internet. I'm proud to have that on my marquee. Love you, TMF.
JT Kirk says C+. This episode is all over the place. The Teleton wave should be fitted to a space station. The Federation is now the ultimate power in the universe. Is that a zit on Worf's hand in the picture? I don't
know.
No.
We have a request in the chat. Here it is.
Oh.
I had a request.
I guess people do want the Club Oni.
They want the Club Oni and the
raspberries. They want the Club Oni. Give them the Club Oni.
There it is, folks. I just love this new person. I could say this new person's name all day. Tiki of Doom. Wow.
Tiki of Doom. That was her, not me. I respect your name. Narata says, I give it a C+. I thought it was a good dramatic story when I was a kid. Once again, in retrospect, not so good, but it was memorable. What happened?
Oh, sorry. It does that whenever I try to star it. It shows it instead. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It was still starred, so I got it.
No.
I give it. Let's see, where was I? But it was memorable and not too bad compared to some episodes. Plus, Future Alexander sucks. Dad Man Walking says C-. Not the worst episode, but I felt for Worf on this one. But the episode was like meh and more meh. Family Ties was a destructive storm coming plot. Meh again. Story. Sorry for all the meh.
No, your mehs are great. And
no problem.
Clobby, what I was actually clicking at, although the chat jumps all over the place on this side, is that Michael Beacom just put through his follow-up comments. They're just coming through now, good. And I was clicking away on them and sorry for the chat jumping.
No problem. No problem. No. Let's see here. See if I can find them. Okay, I see 3 and 4. Do we have 2? Let's see if we can find 2.
Hasn't come through yet.
Well, it hasn't, but 3 and 4 have? Weird.
Yep, that is true. That's true,
crazy.
Boss Man.
Michael, okay, well, I'll get to them as soon as I can because I see 3 and 4 down there at the bottom. Weird. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I haven't seen TNG in so long I can't comment on lesser episodes. We'll comment on memorable ones that I remember. Well, that is fine. Anyone you want to comment on, feel free, my friend. Toxic Man Flu says part 2, 2008, 2,876, and that is why a genetic coupling of Worf and Raquel would produce a master race we can use to defeat Khan from Star Trek in the Dumbness. Brandon the Anime Guy, thank you so much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You were too kind, my friend. I appreciate that. Since I do not remember any of these episodes, I will refrain. Just finished season 2. Only a handful of turkeys. Rest are great shows. Well, thank you, Brandon. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you for that kind, generous super chat. I really appreciate you, my friend.
Yeah.
Snorty says, "What's that lassie?" what's that, Lassie? Timmy is trapped under a beam.
Thought you'd like that, given your comments. Snorty enjoyed it, so I thought I'd let him chime in.
Yes, indeed. Chuck Marble says, I give it an SW for so what.
Yeah.
I love Worf, but dang, he's about as qualified to be a parent as he would be at teaching ballet. That plot line got old. Well, that plot line got old. Yes, I agree. Also, to me, the writing is inconsistent. Boy, is it very much so. I'm totally with you there, Chuck.
Totally agree.
Sure, there's a bit of token sci-fi thrown in, but not enough to save it. Let's make warp drive without warp drive and make it so you can't change scores or speed. Really, that's another great point about that. It's kind of they're just warp surfers.
Yep.
I could see like them being a bunch of, in the plot, a bunch of instead of having some race trying to rewrite warp theory, they're probably complaining to the Federation for help for these idiots playing with warp drive. They're using these warp surfers as daredevils or something. They're doing something what they shouldn't be doing with the warp wave, because that's irresponsible. You can't change course or anything with it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, and they always lose me in this kind of stuff, anyways. But it's probably because I just finished Stephen Hawking's book, and he was discussing this and what would be possible and what wouldn't be possible, and so it's to see this type of tech and them trying to develop it doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope. Oh, here's the third one. I'm sorry. To paraphrase the Reese's peanut butter slogan, 2 weak stories that are really weak together. Enough said about this one. Yes.
That's
I can use some. Hungry Boy said a lot of C's with this episode. Yes, it's true. A lot. Sure, a lot of those. Okay. I can't find number 2 for Mike. For Michael. Oh, there's
that just got put up.
Okay. Missed 3 for why? Okay, I don't know how I missed it. Why were civilians put at risk? Why were an endangered species left on the during an experiment? Maybe means the planet.
Where's Space PETA?
Where's Space PETA? Jordy is super excited to be a lab rat. Also, I added an addendum.
Okay.
Well, I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I wonder if the chat's acting up.
Well, let's see here. I'll go.
I'm looking for it, folks.
Clawbony is released, sir.
Yeah, I thought you'd like the TMF said. Just do it. Release it. Raymond's like, release the raspberries.
I don't think I saw number 2 for Michael, but we got number 3 here. We'll go with that for now.
And Chuck Marple set up another 3 out of 3. Don't worry, you read his 3 out of 3.
Okay. So we're good there?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know about if I got 2 from Michael, but we got these next 2 coming up. Imagine in Trek Classic that suddenly someone shows up. McCoy is saddled with a kid from previous relationship. Why is this recurring theme in TNG? You got me. I don't like it at all. I never did like it. Lose the B story and just have a scenario where Worf must take Alexander temporarily, and the whole ship endangered, showing take your kid to work day on the final frontier is not a good idea.
I totally agree with Michael. And it makes everyone question it. And it just brings up the old argument between the new fans and the old fans. The old fans, it's very clear. It's a military vessel. Starfleet is a military organization. And then the new fans where it's like, what military? This is a science vessel. Do you know what I mean? So it's just it's annoying. It is annoying for old fans, right?
I hate that crap when they say it's not a military vessel. Eat it.
I know. It's super annoying. Can I just say?
Yes, you can and did. Raquel, the papers out of the UK on the hairs around a black hole, and how they might be used to store information.
That is incredibly intriguing. On face value, it sounds plausible. It's a very intriguing idea. I do not know anything about the science surrounding that, but I will most certainly look into it. I just absolutely love Stephen, and I love the work that he left for us. The work that what he's done for our society, for humanity, is just outstanding. What a way to live your life.
We're going to pick up the pace here, folks. So that our chief engineer will round out this episode for better. You know, this is a cutoff point. We got to put our foot down sometime because we're running out of, you know, we've been on this one a good while. So he says B-, only enjoyable because of the performance of the actors and characters, but overall, very weak filler. Why does the starship need kids? Alexander would have been safe on Earth. Yeah, he would have. I don't know. It doesn't need kids, but they, you know, anyway. Worf would have never refused his own child. Script could have been fixed by removing a few lines. Yeah.
Agreed.
Thankfully, the Decker unit saved Groot. PSSTD. Forgot all about the Soliton wave, which I thought Mikey Spock invented. Probably.
Barf. Insert barf icon. Can I get a few barf icons in the chat?
I don't have
please?
any, but yeah, some people do. Oh my goodness. Well, take it out. Oh, okay. I see what Six said. You don't work until Monday night. Thank you, Six. I appreciate that. But we are going to move on to our next exciting episode anyway. Are we ready?
We are.
Are we ready?
We ready.
All right, the next episode is Hero Worship.
It is Hero Worship. We're on season 5, episode 11. We all watched this for the very first time. Well, most of us did on January 6th, 1992. And just to keep us copyright compliant, I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block. She gets a bit of help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman, and receives the blessing of cast and crew. Please turn your Star Trek hymnal to page 238, where I'm going to read extemporaneously. The Enterprise comes upon the wreckage of a research vessel whose crew was investigating the interior of a black cluster, a region marked by intense gravitational tidal waves. The only survivor of the ship is Timothy. Aw, Timmy! A traumatized young boy who fabricates an implausible story about what damaged the Vico and killed his parents. Timothy forms an attachment to Data, who rescued him from the vessel, and soon begins to emulate the android. But when the Enterprise's investigation into the disaster sets the starship on a course for a similarly tragic outcome, the crew's lives depend on Timothy's revelation of what really happened on board the Vico. That's quite the sentence. Hero Worship focuses on the pairing of Data, the android with the enduring wish to become human, and a young boy who, as a result of his recent trauma, would rather be an emotionless android. But there was a third partner in this relationship, Counselor Cameltoe. And that was not writer Joe Menosky's liking. It was a Troy-heavy episode, and I had a love-hate relationship with Troy, he explains. I love the actress, but hated the character. I used to say that having a full-time therapist on board the Enterprise, in a command position no less, would date our series more than any other story element. Well, I'm just going to stop reading for a second here and just say this. If he would have just obeyed Jean's Bible and portrayed a Troy the way that Jean wrote her, we wouldn't have any of these inconsistencies and annoyances. It would actually make sense. However, I digress. Back to the text.
Does it say what?
Well,
and what was referring to?
Pardon?
I was wondering what Six was referring to. Says it doesn't say that. She was surprised by something, apparently.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't say that. Oh, no, she's making fun of, or she's laughing along with me when I called her Counselor Cameltoe instead of Counselor Troy.
Oh, actually, it does say that. I'm looking right at it. It says it in the book there. No, I'm just kidding. I can't fool Six. She's got the book. So
I love Six. Okay, in retrospect, that was true. In the 1980s, America was the therapeutic culture. Therapy, speak, and thinking inflected pretty much everything. Unfortunately, Menosky continues, Gene Roddenberry felt the need to include it as something essential in terms of updating the new Star Trek. Well, yeah, of course. You would need to have... Oh, my God.
Yes.
Anyway.
No. Jill, well, damn it, Jill, now I want popcorn. Why'd you do that to me? Good, sir.
But look around now in 2012. All that stuff is virtually gone. Drugs took over, things like Prozac, which is not necessarily an improvement. But maybe, the writer Riley observes, the next generation will have a full-time pharmacist on board. So, folks, I would just like to say that before I hand it over to Clobby, that I think that this coverage is garbage. Um,
Wow.
I can't believe that Paula M. Block would actually reproduce this in print. This is absolutely shameful.
Wow.
All you need to do is, I believe, in the Gene Roddenberry Bible of Characters, I believe it is page 26. You can read all about what Troy was supposed to do. They're the ones who messed with her character. I would also like to say that Jean believed that people would try to edify themselves and wake up every day trying to be a better version of themselves than the day before. And they would expose themselves to different languages and cultures and would be in this constant pursuit of improving themselves. And I think it's absolutely disgusting uh, that this person is saying, Manowski is saying that the next generation should basically have a full-time pharmacist on board instead of understanding what Jean was trying to accomplish. I think that this coverage is actually shameful. There's another tile. Should I read it?
You're having so much fun with the last one. Why not? I mean,
Jeez. All right, I'm going to read from page 239 of the block of crap text.
oh,
Everyone knows that Data is a consummate Renaissance android who excels at music, art, and poetry, which is admittedly, not to everyone's taste. Brent Spiner, however, is not quite as talented as his alter ego. He can play guitar, as he demonstrates briefly in Silicon Avatar, and he can sing, as he demonstrates in several Broadway musicals and two of the Star Trek movies. But it's unlikely that he paints at Data's masterful level. Most of the paintings seen on The Next Generation were created by members of the show's art department. However, the lovely landscape that Data is seen working on in Hero Worship actually was rendered by Dan Curry, who also supervised the episode's virtual effects. I thought it would be fun if Brent was painting one of my own works, explains Curry. So I brought in a landscape I had done in Central California. The art department made a print on canvas that looked slightly unfinished, so Brent could dab paint on it. The name of the original piece, which hangs in the Curry home, is Golden Hills near Hollister. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hollister, California. And that would be all the block of crap text has to say
wow.
about the episode Hero Worship, Season 5, Episode 11. Claudia, I'm going to throw it over to you. What did you think of, Gene Roddenberry not thinking pharmaceuticals were the answer?
Uh, I'm with you. You know more about that kind of stuff than I do. So I trust my number one on that. So I deem it as well. Crap. Oh. Crap it, crap it. Hello there, Captain Marty Spock. Welcome, my friend.
Hello, hello.
Um,
What'd you think of the episode, boss?
oh boy. Well, before we do that, let's knock out these super chats real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, goody. We have super chats.
TMF, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Toxic Mansfield, you were too kind, my friend. I really appreciate that. He says, I protest calling the character of Counselor Tinfoil Brain as Counselor Camel Toe. That gives a bad name to Camel Toes across the globe. That's a good part.
Can I call her Counselor Ninja Boot then? No, I'm kidding. I love you,
Whatever
Tina.
you want. A super sticker from Six. Thank you so much, Six. You were too kind, my dear, for $1.49. Really, really, thank you so much. You were lovely and wonderful. Appreciate you. And Mr. Tickle Trunk for $2 super chat. He said, here's one vote for Counselor Moose Knuckle.
I mean, that works.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Let's see. Where are we at? What? Oh. What's that now? Toxic said, I'm not sure, but I get the feeling Raquel does not like the coverage of this episode. She needs to express herself. I don't know. She's kind of on the fence, it sounds like to me.
you guys.
The episode Look, a Data episode's always cool, so that you can't really go wrong. This got because a Data episode or an episode where it has a lot of data in it, and it's always going to have some good stuff, and it does. It has a good performance. I got to be honest with you though. This one is another one that's kind of a. First of all, what is it with kids? 2 in a row with kids, by the way.
That's what I was saying last episode. And if you look at the prod codes, this is prod order. They're not out of prod order.
Well, the kids, come on with the kids, guys. Jesus. And again, it's kind of a nothing burger of a story.
Ship. It's a science vessel.
What the hell? Well, the kid was on a science vessel.
He got blown up.
And he got blown up like all science vessels do. Man, it's dangerous to be on a science vessel in Starfleet.
So many kids.
It got whacked. Wasn't it the same class as the Grissom? Still using that one like 100 years later?
I'm actually not sure. I count on people like J.T. Kirk and others who have studied the engineering of the actual ships. I usually rely on them, like Wolfie. Where is Wolfie?
Wolfie's here. I thought that looked like the Grissom, but I could be wrong. But they'll handle it. So I got it wrong. They'll fix us.
Yeah, they know where the bathrooms are on the ships. These guys. So just ask them and ask, and ye shall receive.
It was the Grissom. There you go. Yes, Ober. Thank you. We got all the Trek knowledge right here. If I forget something, if you forget something, we are covered in this chat.
Yeah.
But so thank you for that. And yes, I do. I understand what you're saying there, Papa. That it's about Data experiencing being a father and something like that. Again, that's what I'm saying. I like Data. I like a good Data episode. I just found this one to be pretty kind of ho hum. I really just. It's okay. It's an interesting idea. The kid wanting to emulate him, all that kind of stuff. But we've already got enough episodes that are character. Sometimes you need to kind of cut back on that a little bit, give it something with a little more bite to it. I personally thought I don't hate it. It's again very much similar to the previous episode. I don't care enough to hate it. I gotta say I think it might be a little bit better than that last one because Spiner, but I'm not that big on the episode. Some of you might like it. I can understand that. That's just not my bag.
Well, I love Spiner and I love Data, but I was expecting Captain Stubing to interrupt Poopy Stew, Captain Peahard there, and allow the boy to sit in the captain's chair for a few minutes. I mean, it's just I don't enjoy this kind of stuff, and too much of it back to back, including in production, so they knew what they were doing. It's very annoying.
Yeah. And that's another good point there, Papa. So go ahead with your notes.
Okay, here are my notes, folks.
Let's make quick work of this one.
All right. So too bad no one, including Counselor Cameltoe, thought to consider Alexander the way they consider Timmy Boy. Back-to-back episodes, people. Are you serious? 2 completely different courses of treatment and care for a child who witnessed the murder of his mother. We even experienced the same disobedience scenarios, for example, not addressing the teacher and being disobedient in class. I love Data and I love Brent Spiner. He is a marvelous person. I've met him so many times. I've told many of you, I've met him so many times, and he knows my husband and I so well that one time when we were at a con and we yelled his name, he actually stood up at his table and waved to us because he's just so kind. Like, he's a beautiful person. Anyway, row your boat, ST5, Final Frontier, especially in a round. And I said, cool concept with the field feeding off of the shields harmonically. So, but other than that, this is just not a gooder for me. And this is another one of these.
Star Trek isn't about the military.
Good.
Oh, very good. I want to thank you, Eric K., for that $2 super chat. The captain's poop deck sounds smelly. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe we need the claw bony. Do we need a cleanup, Eric?
I would say so. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of strong feelings for it one way or the other. Just again, some of the stuff with Data is pretty cool, but other than that, I don't really care that much. I want to see Star Trek. I want some Star Trek stories again.
Some science and some military. Science and military.
Yeah, I want what I want out of Star Trek, you guys. Yeah. And there have been some that have delivered this year. What is your ranking, number one? I will ask my number one, her ranking, then I'll give mine, then I will ask you guys. So
Hold your fire.
Wait till the word is given, my friends. Your ranking of hero worship.
This is a C for me.
Did it again. I have 2 C's in a row, so mine's also a C again, and that just doesn't mean anything particularly hated for me. It's just kind of, yeah, it was tough to remember. I can tell you that. When I watched it, I go, yeah, I've seen this one. And no ratings yet, everyone. Well, now I'm going to give the word, but now I got to hold my chat. It makes me have to. Yep.
I got you, boss.
Hey, look, Papa's got a bunch of ratings there.
Yeah.
Thanks. So once you get those starred, there we go. Yeah, go for it. Could you make continue?
Yeah. So is the word given, boss man?
Oh yeah.
All right. The word is
Star
given.
away.
The captain has given the order. Please file your grades and brief comments to the chat about this episode.
Yes. So star away, and then we'll start. Once I see a bunch of them collected up in there, I will start announcing them. There we go. They're starting to pour in now. We're gonna try to burn through this one, folks. No promises, but we're gonna try to speed her up there a little. What do you think? While you're doing that, I'm gonna start hitting some of these.
Do it.
Papa Delta Yankee, who is new to the channel, gives it not only an A, then changes it, upgrades to a C, then downgrades to a C, then downgrades to a D, then downgrades to an F. So all over the place, Captain. Papa. Sorry.
Papa.
All right, Papa. Well, thank you for all those rankings.
Papa's got a brand new grade.
Your the Mega Cropper goes with a B minus. Thank you, Mega. Appreciate you so much. Let's see here. Now, Mr. Tickle Trunk, that's a 3 of 4. Do you have any other ones?
I'm getting them as they come up.
Okay. Weird.
I know. It is weird.
I see one. I
A
see
big
2.
crop just got dumped back in here.
Oh, okay.
Weird delay tonight, but they're coming through, boss.
Okay. Yeah, they're all
Look at the
over the place.
timestamps on them, and you can see that they're all a jumble.
Yeah, they're jumbled up. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So we'll get them. I'll go with Raymond Feliciano. Gives it a C minus for Claboni. He likes that Claboni. we might get the Claboni level again. We'll see, folks. The orphan kid trope is boring. I like Data Happy Little Trees Ross. Ross. But overall, it's meh. Block coverage F confirms my decision not to get the brick. I got you covered there, brother. Let's see here. Sandra also goes with a C. Meh episode. A kid suffering from PTSD is not encouraged to wall off his emotions. Just not a great episode. I
agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Let's see here. Okay. I'm trying to find. Boy, they're all over the place, huh?
They are, and they're burping all in groups. They're punches in bunches,
Gotcha.
So it's like dead and then flood.
Scuba Pete says C minus. The premise sucked harder than Data with a straw. Polyastra. What the hell?
Polysaccharides.
Saccharides. I'm not reading those words. Hey, Scuba Pete, dude, I want you to extend your right arm, pull it to your head, to the back of your head, make a not a fist. You can go with an open hand, and then I want you to bam whap above the backside of the head for using those 2 words.
Because he was being puntastic. Listen to this, Captain. It's polysaccharides were in the drink he was drinking, right?
Well, I don't have it.
Scuba Pete put polysucka this ride.
Well, I don't have an agonizer to use on him, so I need him to smack himself upside the head for that.
Okay, well, no Klingon pain sticks for Scuba Pete. I love him, and we wouldn't want to electrocute him while he's scuba-ing with his scuba.
Oh shit! Good old. We appreciate you, Scuba. Number one for Mr. Tickle Truck. Thank you, sir. It says C plus. I would have actually liked to see a story where Timothy was truly responsible for the crew's death, but I understand this is way too dark for Star Trek. Plot is only interesting on one watch. Okay, gotcha.
Got a bot. Killed the bot.
Killed the bot. I got his 3. I can't see his 2. Now I got to search for his 2. Mr. Tickle Trunks 2. Oh, there. I think I see 4. That's strange.
I know.
I see his 3. I see his 4 twice.
I know. It's cray, isn't it?
I don't know, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Maybe you put 4 by mistake. So I've got 2 4s. I don't know what to do. I'll do my best with. If another one comes up, I'll get you. But right now, I'll go with this one. Then I imagine sentient, angry P-men storming the ship with which made the episode a lot better. Let's see here. Too much Troy, but this had some charming moments with Data and Timothy playing off each other. But rewatching, I realized Timothy described purple-headed warriors, purple-helmeted invaders. Indeed. Let's see here.
Am I reading in the chat right? You guys, the chat is burping all over the place. Like it's burping like 5 replies at once and then it's totally stagnant. Is Sandra Feliciano leaving? If she is, I would just like to say good night, Sandra. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Clobby and I love you.
Sandra.
Talk to you soon.
Good to see you, Sandra. You take care. Was my 4 eaten by the naughty word detector? Maybe that's what it was, buddy. I don't know. Could be. No, the 4 was there. Just couldn't find 2. Maybe 2 was eaten. I guess that could be. I didn't even take that into consideration that maybe it's not letting you put it all up there. Anyway, Snorty says D, another episode with a child trapped under a beam. Good point. That's like 2 in a row. What the hell? How do you think about that? Wow. Please remind me again why Starfleeters children aboard starships. Counselor Obvious is back to her usual useless self.
Yep.
So true.
Totally agree.
Hungry boy says D-. This attempt at an amuse bouche. Did I say it right? Bouche. Bouche. Okay. Episode was as amusing as having a corn shave. Tiresome attempt at whimsy. Waste of Brent indeed. Eric K, the great bronze wrencher, says just one pile of poop after another. Once again, Counselor Camelto proves she is full of claw bony cleanings. Wow.
I love you. I love you.
There. Let's see. Let's get some of these single ones out of the way. Papa Delta Yankee says B. It's more about Data's humanity and the circumstances were written around the kid and his interaction with Data. One of the better ones with kids overall. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All opinions are welcome here, sir. We want you to know that. Want you to feel comfortable here and always feel comfortable in your opinions because we value them all and they're all welcome here.
That's right. Equally as important as ours as well.
In fact, way important than mine, but everyone's more important than mine. So let's see here. Let's see. Was my eaten by the? Yeah, I think it was eaten by the detectors. I don't know though, but I can't. I'm not sure. But these are all mixed up. So, Mr. Angel says, "F, where is the gall darn sci-fi in this? He doesn't talk like that, by the way. Are we to believe spaceships of the future are kindergartens 999? I hear you.
It's not the military. It's a science vessel.
I love when you do that. Near Night and Amanda Bear says, I give it B. I first saw this episode when I was 7 or so. So I was really into it. Now, not so great, but it's a Data episode, so it gets a bonus point. Yeah, I understand that. We all love Data, so I'm totally with you. Mrs. Dodman Walking says, C instead of a D because I like Data. I like Data, but this was kind of a so-so. Why give the responsibility of a child's mental health to an android? Kid was boring. Once again, a child saves the day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another excellent point.
Yep.
Let's see here. All right, man. Let's see here. Michael Beacom says D plus science vessel all killed, but the kid they brought along. All killed, but the kid they brought along. Exactly. Kid is scarred for life. Sensing a theme yet? Now it's Data's turn. Counselor, now I read your mind. Now I can't is useless as usual. Let's see here. Hang on. Got to get to that second one. Got to find it, man. This is some crazy ass chat tonight.
Aren't the timestamps hysterical? Sometimes the 4 comes in before the 1, and it's a delay by 3 or 4 minutes. It's wacko.
It's wackadoodle for sure.
Wackadoodle-doo.
In fact, I don't have Michael Beacom's other one.
What?
That was just one. Didn't he have a couple?
I'm going and looking for it. I don't think so, boss man. If it's
here I got 2. I must have missed it. There's number 2. Sorry, Mike.
You have 30 in there.
He has 3. Okay. Sensors that can detect molecules from orbital distances, but when they come across the destroyed science vessel, the readings give no indication what happened. They're helpless till a 14-year-old. Is that what he was? 14. Let's see. To a 14-year-old. There we go. Saves the day. Wesley lives on in spirit, yet again trying to figure out what the hell to do with Troy, and pseudoscience rules the day. Well said, Mr. Michael Beacom. Thank you so much for that. Let's see here. Chuck Marble says, R for redundant. The last episode was meh. This one was annoying. It's data daycare. I like that one, data daycare. Sure, it's kind of cute seeing the boy interact with Data, but overall, it's middle of the road at best.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, Michael. Chuck, getting your next one here. Two kid episodes in a row. It's a ballerina tutu. Exactly. Too many. Too many. I got you. And another child lost his mother and or father and must cope episode. And another huge cloud in space episode. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm all bunch of just filler type stuff. I'm with you. Sure, they were good Star Trek plot devices the first 100 times. As the great Robin Williams once said, redundant. Bring out the clobbering. I think we're getting there.
Yeah, we are getting there.
I think we've got enough requests for it that we may have to just do that. What do you think?
I just started a comment, Captain, that said Michael Beacom for 39 minutes past the hour. He says, I had 3. So he did have 3. I'm going to unstart it now.
I think I got him.
Do you have them? Okay.
No, I've already read the 3.
Okay, good. Okay,
so now we will start with our good buddy, Enigmatic Drop Bear, if you're ready for that.
Good bear. Erudite bear. Let's do it. Let's get it on.
Go for it.
Enigmatic Drop Bear's got a 3-parter. He's given this one a B-. He says this episode was more successful than the previous episode in that it harmonized its A and B plot lines. It neatly tied together the perils of the Black Cluster with Timothy's experience.
And guess what? The next one is 3. I got to find 2. Give me a chance to find 2. What the hell is wrong with this chat tonight? His next one is 3. Oh, there's 2. Okay, they're out of order, but I got it. Okay, go ahead.
2 of 3. Enigmatic Drop Bear says, it is interesting that this story is similar to the previous episode in that it deals with childhood trauma, albeit in a different form. It explored, enantiodromia, an interesting condition.
Okay. Number 3. Here we go.
3 of 3. Neither episode trivialized the road to recovery. Both acknowledged the boys were on a long path to healing their psychological scars and would require ongoing support on that journey.
Well said as always, ED.
Drop
Hey,
bear.
now our communications officer.
Guess who just walks through the door? Rod
Ooh.
Thunderheart. Hello,
Hey,
Alberta.
Rod Thunderheart. Hey there.
All right, now it's time to read Anti-Derivative Jill, our Chief Communications Officer, and my fellow nerd. She's a nerd I love. She's got a three-parter. She's given this one a B+. She says, each step in the mystery is backed up by logical correlations to sensor readings against Timothy's lie explored through his obsession with being an android, leading to Data's solution. Even though the anomaly itself is fictional, the echoing reflective effect leads into the sensical conclusion of shielding being the culprit. I only have one issue with that. If the wave was already approaching from having diverted power from the warp shields, then wouldn't the wave still have the energy? Where did it go? Still enjoyed it. Oh, very nice.
Excellent. There you go.
Yeah, that's not the way I understand the ability to warp, the way that it was explained to me by my planetarium. I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm not an astrophysicist, and I'm not a physicist. But the way that warp technology, the plausibility or the possibility of warp technology, the way that it was explained to me, yeah, it certainly doesn't work in that particular way. Or I don't think it could potentially work in that way, but I'm no expert in that field.
Indeed. Well, there you go. I hear you. B for the great Kal-El. This was a good episode, but not great. Timothy's attachment to Data was a way to avoid a traumatic event he experienced. As a way. Sorry, my bad. Was very believable. Counselor Troy was clearly written by those who don't know the character this week, but that's almost to be expected by now. Overall, a fairly good episode, mainly because it was interesting to see Data take on a fatherly role.
Mm-hmm. And did a better job than Worf.
Well, yeah, he did.
Sadly.
J.T. Kirk says B-. Great idea, but poorly placed in the season. Spiner shines. It's Spinner. I'm right Spinner rack so much. Sorry. Shiner, Spiner, Skliner, Spider, Steiner, Spider shines, bringing the episode an air of legitimacy it would not otherwise have. Why was the kid playing with a lame version of Lincoln Logs? I don't know. Call me crazy, but I can't help but wonder if all these kiddie episodes were an experiment by the studio execs to test the ratings for the potential for the under 12-year-old audience. Yeah, it could be.
Oh,
could
boy.
well be.
I love Snortapoopus's comment, and it seems as though the chat is just now starting to catch up. The timestamps are starting to look normal. He says, Snortapoopus says, I'm not a theoretical physicist, but I did spend a night at a Holiday Express. It's hysterical. Sorry, the chat jumped.
Oh, there you go. Mr. Tickle Truck is number 2 from earlier. You have to love Data. You have to love Data is a better counselor than counselor. You know who. Why wouldn't the team with Data? Why wouldn't she team with Data to help the little guy if the information he had was so important?
Mm-hmm.
You got me. Toxic Man Flu says, D for Data, 78 or 32. Counselor Darren Moose Knuckle Troy was planned as a mid-season replacement for Troy, the Camel Counselor, but a tragic accident involving Frake's forehead at the craft table.
Oh no, the poor Decker unit. What will we do?
It looks like they're at the craft table in this scene. Oh crap! This episode is so bad I am caught in a time-traveling chat trope.
Yeah. It's true.
TMF, seriously, I see 2 humpback whales and Dr. McCoy falling through the Guardian. Jesus, that's gonna hurt.
Murderers! Assassins!
A for awesome. No, now I've gone back in time to 1963 and I'm awarding grades of the TOS episodes. Save me from the time travel, right? I need Lazarus.
Yeah, there's something weird going on with the chat. And so there's a delay again in time, in the timestamp. And the Comic Relief Crusader just said that he's tried to submit his comment 3 times now. I think that might be the Google people.
Google.
The only time that I know of, unless it's just glitching, is if someone tries to put a word that the chat don't want in there. That happens. We've learned.
Yep, that does happen. And the fine folks who own
I'm not saying
YouTube,
he
Google,
did that.
Yeah.
We're not saying he did that, but sometimes it does that. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's true.
C from Phantom Outsider. C, just like the last episode, the likability of the featured character Worf, now Data, lift, I think it means the poor episode to a higher level than it would usually deserve. The addendum to last ep applies. Starfleet has I think it means no protocols after M5 test, Genesis device test, Pegasus test. Also, the future straws will return after a Starfleet experiment wiped out the turtles. Let's see here. Allowing Timothy to pal with Data was obviously a Starfleet insurance ploy to avoid lawsuits. Also, why don't Timothy and Jeremy team up and take out Alexander and Wesley? Good idea. I fully endorse that. Okay. Stadman says C. It was slightly better than the previous. Spider was excellent, but this episode just exists. Had thoughts they were trying to cast for Wesley Jr. I'll never look at straws the same way again. All right, it's a straw man argument there. Rating B- for Wolfie. About average for a Data episode. The coverage on this episode is offensive. Pharmacy. The medical group on board the Starship gives out drugs for various treatments. True?
Yep, it's true.
And
Wolfie, I especially don't like the fact that Minosky said all that stuff about, basically we didn't improve. We sucking all of the hope out of the room. It was Gene's intention to give us something to aspire to give us hope for a future where, we were constantly trying to better ourselves, not reaching for pills. So it's in bad form. And Wolfie, I agree.
Something interesting to note about the Oberth class SS Starship, I guess. Vico is that is not a USS, and the registry is the unusual NAR 18834 versus NCC, possibly denoting civilian ownership. Wow. I love it.
This is what I mean about Wolfie.
Wolfie has this Starship master right there.
Yeah, he is. JT Kirk's not too shabby either.
These guys are top notch on the tech stuff.
Yeah, you can tell that these guys are engineers and they've looked at the blueprints of the ships that are available online, and they understand it at a much deeper level. And I just love it. I think it's outstanding.
Oh, I love it, because who doesn't love the Trek? I love the Trek ships, and I try to remember these. I always try to remember the class of ships and all that stuff, but I can't. Yeah. And these guys, it's amazing. Yep. Wolfie says, outstanding work by the Vico model makers to do battle damage that actually show the interior decks and components of the ship. Good point, man. I love it. I love that. Keep that coming. Always love that stuff there, Wolfie.
Love it, Wolfie. Thank you, honey.
Six says, this is the most welcoming Trek community on YouTube. Well, Six, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And I pride this channel on being welcome to everyone, not just Trek, but all kind of other stuff, geekness and general comics and stuff. But this is a Trek Starship right here that I'm proud to welcome anyone. We don't allow any filth here, but if you like the filth, you can still join us. But don't expect us to talk nicely about it, and you're fine.
We love you, Six.
Six, thank you so much. Love you for that. You're too kind. Let's see here. Hungry Boy says, Mr. J just turned into the Decker unit when Raquel used that voice. Oh, he's referring to Harley Quinn, who talks just a lot like that, the character, the Joker's Maul.
Oh.
Because I know you probably haven't seen that, but Batman the animated series and in the DC animated universe, Harley Quinn talks just like that. So everyone, I knew someone was going to mention Harley Quinn.
Oh, does Harley Quinn talk like that?
Oh,
That's a
yes.
lunatic who kills people with a baseball bat, though, isn't it? That's not good.
Amongst other things, yeah. Well, not in the animated series. She didn't really get away with killing that much, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Just in the nutty new movies. But Storty says, I hope someone clips Raquel's science special voice. 6 says, Clobby, many channels have different videos to welcome new members. You should make one using Raquel's voice, special voice when your memberships go live. Oh, yes. And now that we got too far into February, I don't know if I can do it until we get to March, but it's good. It's going to be done. Now I've decided. I don't know how. So, but 6, you are too kind. Thank you so much. I'll see if I can afford Raquel's services to do that.
Free, baby, for you,
expensive.
free.
Oh, you're too kind. Let's see here. Pleasant Valley Bigger says, am I invisible? You guys are years behind in reading chats. I don't know if I'm seeing you now on this one anyway.
Yeah. The time I just wanted,
I don't know.
I highlighted that comment because I wanted our BC friend to know that the timing is out of sync. I don't know. I mean, it could even be possible that YouTube is now increasing the dump delay between what's going on the StreamYard side and live. And that could be to prevent, whatever they're going to try and prevent. It could be an increase of censorship. I'm not sure. And I don't even, want to go any further in speculating, but something is brewing, folks, and it's definitely not us. It's happening platform wide. And I do apologize. There's nothing we could do about it.
So sorry about that, Pleasant Valley, but we won't forget you. We can see you there. So you have not slipped into a parallel dimension yet, sir. Anti-derivative Jill. We already read hers, right? This is for someone else. This is the Comic Relief Crusader 3 of 3. Oh, thank you, Jill. If the wave was already approaching from having, I'm sorry, she's got one before that. That's 3 of 3. Oh no, that's okay. I haven't seen his other ones, but we'll just go with this one, and we'll get on. If the wave was already approaching from having diverted power from the warp to shields, then wouldn't the wave still have the energy? Where did that go? Still enjoyed it. I think he's referring to the previous
Jill's comment from earlier, but I'm not. Jill just said it was a mistake. She said that was a mistake.
Okay, I got you. Let's see. The Comic Relief Crusaders. C. Domo Arigato, Mr. Data Bato. The episode was okay, but only that. Typical filler episode, and another chance for Counselor Camelto to strut her boobs around yawn. Thank you, Jill. She was relaying those messages for us. Toxic Man Flu, no filth, Claboni. Thank you so much, Toxic Man Flu, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you.
I love you.
No filth, Claboni, but you let me on here.
You led him on, I think he means to say. And the reason being is TMF, his laptop battery is like going to die really soon. So he said if we lose him, of course, he's saying goodnight to all of us if we lose him. So I think he might be running to go and get a charge cord or something. But if we lose you, TMF, I love you, honey.
Thank you, TMF. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. You were too kind. And our chief engineer finishes up our reviews for Hero Worship with a B. Episode suffered from another very weak B story, almost a clone of the previous Soliton wave. Spiner is wonderful, portraying Data as usual. A great character study of what makes us human. And how we experience emotions. Timothy bonds with an emotionless android that cope with this horrific loss. Data is able to counsel him, though the loss of his family and friends, in a touching way. Data says, I would gladly risk feeling bad at times if it also meant that I could also taste my dessert. I see. We all deal with loss differently, and I thought this episode did a good job on that front. Yeah, it did. It was an interesting idea, no question about it. But there's 2 kids in a row stuff, and I don't know.
2 kids under a beam in a row, both with PTSD from their mothers being killed in front of them.
Yeah. It's
You
coming.
know,
Bit much. Are we ready to move on to our next exciting episode?
we are. It's Violations, Season 5, Episode 12. We all watched this for the first time, well, at least most of us, on January 27th, 1992.
I don't know. In case we didn't, I want to thank you, Six, for that super chat. I mean, super sticker. I don't know if I got a chance to. It's still up there, so I just want to make sure. Sorry.
Oh, good. What is it? Which super
It was,
sticker is it?
You can never tell from this end.
I know, I hate that. Can somebody tell me what the sticker is? Because I love Six. I want to know what she sent us.
I know I mentioned it already, but I can't. I think I did. I just want to be sure. I didn't want to forget her.
Okay. So staying copyright compliant, I'm going to be reading excerpts from Star Trek 365 The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block and Terry J. Erdman. Also receives the blessing of Ronald D. Moore and company. Please turn your Star Trek hymnal to page 240. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously. If I make mistakes...
Oh, she sent a popcorn one. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Yay!
You can't see it on this end for some reason. I'm not sure why, but thank you. And
Bobby loves popcorn. It's like one of his favorite foods. He loves popcorn.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Six and Jill, trying to make me hungry. I want popcorn now. Thanks. Appreciate it. Love it. Thank you so much, Six.
Okay, folks, let's do it. Let's dig in. After a delegation of Ulians, a race of telepathic historians who conduct research by probing subjects' long-forgotten memories, comes aboard the Enterprise, Counselor Cameltoe experiences a peculiar twist, and not in her pants, an otherwise pleasant memory, then lapses into a coma. As Riker and Crusher attempt to figure out if there is a connection between the presence of the Ulians and Troy's condition, the commander too falls into a coma, followed by the doctor, leading Picard to suspect that one of the Ulians is a memory rapist. Wow, that is a lot of hyperbole. Let's keep going. Violations was a tough story to do, Jerry Taylor says, but it was an immediately attractive idea. The idea of grape being a mental thing as opposed to a physical thing. Even though it's mental, not physical, the violation is no less profound. Violation is not the first Star Trek episode to deal with mind grape, nor would it be the last. In 1967, Mirror Mirror, an alternate universe version of Spock, forced his way into McCoy's mind to access the knowledge he desperately needed. A quarter of a century later, our own universe's Spock did the same to the treacherous Valeris in the undiscovered country. His motivation was similar, and here was rationalized as being necessary under the urgent circumstances. But one suspects that Spock wasn't proud of his actions. In science fiction settings, as Terry notes, mental violation is as vicious a crime as physical grape. I don't know about that. And poor Troy, so often the victim of mental predators, would no doubt experience deja vu when Shinzon attempts to have his telepathic way with her later in Star Trek Nemesis. It's a shame that she never learned the Betazoid equivalent of occlumency, the magical defense of mind against external penetration, as taught at J.K. Rowling's fanciful Hogwarts school. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm not even sure if that's a real word. Let's keep going.
Hogwarts?
No, the
Never mind.
Well, the thing is that the word has also been broken up in the book, and it's all in, and it's hyphenated. Occlumency. Anyways, so that's all the block text has to say about violations. What did you think of the coverage, and what did you think of the episode, Capitan?
Coverage, I don't know, a little questionable. Look, I understand we're dealing with the science fiction concept, so in this context, the mind grape can make you feel like it really happened and really experienced it. Nevertheless, if it doesn't leave any physical marks beyond that, it's not saying it's good, it's horrible. It made you think that it really happened. It's tough to equate it with one that actually leaves not only the emotional scars, but physical ones as well. Yes, I don't know why you have to go there and make this episode anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. I would ask you this, though. What does... I get what they're saying about the scene with Troy and the the mind rapist.
Mhm.
But what is this scene with Picard and Crusher? Reliving her, that terrible memory when he takes Jack Crusher there, have to do with anything?
I don't know. This is a crap episode. I mean, it's just full of crap. There's a difference between I think there's a difference between humiliation, torture, interrogation, and grape. I think that it is a disservice to many women out there, and men and children, that have been violated in that way. And I think it's a
Right.
very specific thing. And I think once you start
Hmm.
throwing that word around, you diminish the horror of it. And you also are being inarticulate. You're being imprecise in your address of what's actually happening, because some of this telepathy has absolutely nothing to do with sexual assault, and has everything to do with torture. It's someone torturing somebody. So I think that the coverage is crap, and I think the episode is crap.
I think the episode's mega crap, personally. Well, we're letting the cat out of the bag early, but
Yeah, I have some notes where I say some
um,
stuff.
that's why I put this picture. I think it's just funny to laugh at Picard with his stupid hair.
It
I don't
looks
know what was
ridiculous.
that on his head, by the way.
I don't know. I
He's like
don't
a
know.
Borg. It looked like a Borg. I don't understand what the. Look, the episode was just look. Okay, I'm trying to be fair in the sense that sure, the plot is. I mean, it's credible enough that there would be an alien being kind of that could do this sort of thing, but really, they're from this planet that's pretty enlightened. Of course, from when we first meet these people, it's. I'm going to believe now that this guy's been going from planet to planet to do this crap to people, and they're just now finding out about it. And he frames his own father because his father's a jerk to him. So
Yeah,
it's just everything about this episode is lame ass. I can't even work up any similar to the other. I can't work
he's a
a whole lot
grapist
of
because
anger.
he has daddy issues. And
Yes,
is it grape, or is he mentally torturing people? It
yeah,
creates a
it's
giant
right. He's
soup of
mentally.
sucktastic suck.
He is. I mean, in the images of him, what he did to her in their mind is why they could have had her. For example, if the story had been him just like putting her through some terrible stuff that didn't involve a sexual, of any kind of sexual nature or violence like that,
Yeah.
maybe. But they put that in there. That's why this really even more connected to grape.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
I'm
what
also annoyed because I have no idea. Like, okay, so they glued a rug to Poopy Stew's head. What did they glue to his temple?
I don't understand. What is that on his temple? What is that?
I
A
don't
blue?
know. Like,
They don't
what?
explain it.
I don't know. It's crap.
I guess it's because it's a dream sequence that's meant to be freaky and is part of his Borg crap or whatever.
But why would the Borg crap be in her head?
I have no idea. She's the
And
one that
what
helped
does that
remove
have
it.
to do with her husband dying?
She helped remove it, but I don't know. The episode's pretentious drivel to me.
Yeah, I think is Zathras here? Zathras, if
I
you're
wish it
here,
was
honey,
here.
here. Crap,
Nope.
crap, crap.
Notes.
Yeah, here's my notes.
Go for the notes.
Oh boy, more Counselor Cameltoe. Haven't we had enough of her already? Another episode people describe as mind rape. And this is also in the script. One of the aliens, the Ulians, says it. This is entirely inappropriate to call all mind reading rape. Spock saves millions of lives by reading the mind of a criminal terrorist potentially responsible for a genocide. So a genocide was about to go down. A mind rape should only be used to describe telepathy for criminal acts of sexual assault, not saving the world. Using telepathy to terrorize someone is torture. It's assault, causing bodily harm in some cases. This isn't a rape suit.
No. Right.
Crusher calls the thalamus the thalamus.
Thalamus. Yeah.
Yeah, thalamus is spelled theta alpha lambda alpha mi omicron sigma, and it means chamber. So it's not the thalamus, it's the thalamus.
Mm-hmm.
And Counselor Troy is a constant liability. When will it end?
Never.
That's it.
Never.
That's That's all I got for you, boss.
We can do this one quick.
Yeah, we can.
What is your what is your rating of? Or do we? Did you? I should say, do you feel violated by violations? What's your rating?
I think this is like one of the stupidest episodes. This is a D for me. It's a D for me. It is a demonstration of how hyperbolic speech, how imprecise language and hyperbolic diction that defies dictionary definition can actually diminish a word's ability to portray truth and violence in the way in which it is intended. And in that way, I think that it does more harm than good. And I don't like the way this smells. I think it stinks. I think it needs the claw bony.
Yeah, we'll get there. Wolfie says something in all seriousness. He said the thing on Picard's head is what the alien guy was wearing to help project his telepathy. He had it on another dream sequence. Okay, fair enough.
Thank you, Wolfie.
Wow. Thanks, Wolfie. Well done, as always, sir.
Thank you for that. Maybe I just couldn't put it together because of what happened to Picard, and also the fact that he has a rug glued to his head. Little poopy.
We have to make you an officer, ensign for sure, at least.
Yeah.
Ensign Wolfie. There you go. Yeah, it's. I'm a D minus it. I just think it's. Now let's keep things in perspective. There are a lot of worse episodes, but it's just sort of lame and it's dumb and it's boring. That's another thing. This whole past 3 episodes I've had are kind of snoozers for me as well, and this one's a snoozer for me, just for me. So Anyway, all right, everyone, let's go for it. Let's knock this one out quick. Let's knock this sucker out of the galaxy. And look, by the way, don't listen to us. If you love it, fine. Give us a read. It's fine if you love it.
Yeah,
so
tell
please,
your truth.
Fire away with your reviews now. The word is given.
The word is given, folks. You know what that means. Please start your review with your grade and then leave us some brief comments and we'll read them on air.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, this is... I don't know. I guess they thought they were being pretty clever. What can you say? They probably thought, wow, this is just such a great idea, man. I go, ooh, he's mind graping people. Ooh,
but they say the same thing about Spock, and that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's not they should not use the word in that way. That's really, really, really wrong.
Right. I mean that. Especially with the Spock thing, because that's saying then sometimes maybe like if you have to use force to stop someone from doing something bad to someone else. In that case, Spock was using some force to find out information that would save countless lives.
Yes, millions, potentially billions of lives. Millions, but potentially billions of lives.
Yeah.
And it was a criminal, and he could prevent it without harming her in any way, merely reading her thoughts. And there's a big difference between assaulting someone and assault, causing bodily harm, and sexually assaulting somebody. These are all very different things, and it's not a soup. You just don't throw it into a soup.
Absolutely.
We have different laws and different diction, different vocabulary for different things that happen to us. Torture is a very serious thing. And being violated is a very serious thing. But putting all these words together and using these kinds of words, I think it's very harmful to society. And I would just like to say, buy an effing dictionary. Buy a dictionary.
Yeah. I can't stand when they call that. Everyone just throws the mind grape thing in there. Like it's just anyway.
It's wrong.
Papa Delta Yankee, thank you, says F for goodable garbage. If you're going to tackle grape, and there's a reason we're calling it that, folks. They're algorithms and stuff. They'll probably get onto that one too. Is that's a word that even though it's a real word, and it's it's a grown-up word that you use to make for communications purposes. You still got to watch it because they teach you. Anyway, just so you all know, we're not saying it to be funny or to trivialize that or anything like that. And we're doing it because we have to, or it's better for the channel to say that. I guess it's okay to put it in the chat or on the screen, though, right? I guess. If you're going to tackle grape, grow a pair and tackle it head on or leave it alone. That's a very good point. Mental grape gives victimizers fuel to pretend they can relate to actual grape victims. That's a good
Yes.
point there, Papa.
Very.
Thank
And
you.
do you see what I'm talking about? Like everyone connects to this. They might not be able to have the vocabulary to describe it, but it has a diminishing effect on this very intimate and personal trauma. And I think it also diminishes the other types of torture that can be done to people. So reading someone's mind, I mean, if this type of technology or physiology was possible, even in passing, that would mean that all Vulcans are graping, because they do passively. Think of how many times Spock reaches out into space. I mean, think of Spock conversing with the Horta. This is not grape. So these are dumb things being said by dumb people, and they don't have good things in their heart. They're just dumb people spouting poo, which is why we have the Club Oni here to pick it all up and clean it up.
JT Kirk says D- coverage, D- for the coverage and a D for the episode. This episode is a mind violation to the audience. Simply terrible and skippable. The toupee on Picard looks even worse than the one on a former TV star that fires people.
Oh,
It does. Oh, shite.
I don't understand why men do that. On behalf of, well, I can't say on behalf of women everywhere. I don't speak for all women everywhere, but I will say this. I would just prefer if you had your cute little bald head. I don't mind. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not in front of me. You don't need a rug. You don't need any of that stuff. Men are sexy when they have no hair. It's okay.
Mr. Angel says, I don't think we should defile the Cliboni with this episode. Just nuke it. Right on, Chef. Snorty says, D. Why would any sentient being want to be inside Troy's head? It's dark and dusty in there and full of burpees. But it is interesting to see Patty Sue rocking a tribble glued to his.
Yeah.
Ah!
Mark the star in that chat for the bear. Chin
Dude.
squishies.
Let's see here. God. Oh, Lordy. I have one question for P. Hard. If humanity is so perfect, how did they manage to create a colony like Turkana 4 with its grape gangs? Yeah. Does Earth just ship its criminals off planet now? Again, that's a good question there, Snortiness. Good bear. Mr. Tickle Truck, I got two and there's number one. It's weird. Okay, so, sorry. Mr. Tickle Truck says D. Interesting concept to tackle with science fiction, but it fell on its face out of the gate. As this is Star Trek. Sadly, the music and camera instantly told us who the villain is right away. That's interesting you say that, because when I first saw it, I thought that exact same thing, and then toward the end, I was going, maybe it's going to be a twist, and turned out to be like one of the other two. Like his mother's like this terrible domineering mom who hates
it. Was too obvious.
It was so obvious. I was thinking that's like a head fake, but it wasn't. It was, wow, you went that obvious. It'd have been less obvious if it had been like the domineering mother who doesn't like any woman around him or some kind of crap.
Yeah,
and he was just like some kind of hapless dude.
Yeah,
but no.
That would have made it more interesting. Instead, we just have a plain old mustache twirling, and it's not even Denise Crosby's mustache this time.
Yeah, and yeah, and then when he goes, toward the end there, when he goes to her quarters or whatever, and he's, we didn't even get Worf should have like beat the crap out of him.
Yeah,
just saying. I mean, he's a clean. I can see one of the other officers trying to restrain him, but Worf should like slam him on the wall or something. Just saying. Picard has a tasteless speech, in my opinion, at the end, implying the capacity for darkness is hiding inside us all. Yeah, speak for yourself, Kimasabi. What were the writers trying to get at? Because that guy does it. I know what he's saying, but still, yeah, everyone has their own issues, and you never know about anybody, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's like, just you shut up, Picard.
Yeah,
Damn
Mr.
triple
Tickletrunk is
head.
right though. Like the whole thing. Oh, just the writing is so bad. It's
It
so
sucks.
bad.
It's
It it
terrible.
it diminishes the power of these definitions and these words. It diminishes the pain and the trauma of every single person who has ever experienced rape, torture, or some type of physical assault. It just turns it all into one giant poopy soup. I agree with Mr. Tickletrunk, making it seem as though, well, we could all do it. It's no, no,
Yeah,
we wouldn't all do it. So,
no, it was
suck
just
it.
yeah, it's just
I don't know what else to say without cursing, but it's just
no,
absolutely ridiculous. I agree with Mr. Tickletrunk. It's insulting to our intelligence. It's just awful.
indeed. He also says Picard's words leaned close to the kind of thing you'd read in projection-based social media posts, or misguided modern activist messaging. I actually felt a bit insulted. Yeah, yeah, that's I know what you're saying, and I absolutely know where you are coming from on that, Mister Tickle Trunk. A good point. Mega Cropper
Boss man,
says
I beg your
yes.
pardon. Please excuse me for interrupting. But
Mm-hmm.
the great Canadian Spider Man just walked through the door and he's waving hello to us. And I thought you should know he's here, Captain.
Canadian Spidey, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're feeling better, doing well.
Sorry about that, boss.
No problem. I'm glad because I can't see the chat saying so. When someone pops in, I want to know about it. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well, sir. Where? Oh, and now number one, we have one. It looks like we have one from our wonderful uh, chief. Our communications officer. If you'd like to do the honors.
Absolutely. Anti Derivative Jill, our Chief Communications Officer and glorious, glorious nerd, a lady who I love very much. I think she's only got a one-parter on this one, and it might be because she's disgusted, but I'm not going to speak for her. Oh, I guess I was right. She's given this one an F. It says Nightmare for Caldra 4. They should have named Ulian's Freddy. When the audience knows the answer to the mystery, the intrigue is sapped. Oh, how beautifully said. Give
Yes.
this episode a big punch in the face by Worf.
Yeah. And we don't even get that. Like at the end, he doesn't like beat the dude's ass. It's just like, yeah,
No.
let's go to the brig.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
can we just talk about how sassy and awesome that that comment was? Jill
Yeah.
nailed it tonight. Baby, you just dropped the mic. I love that, Jill.
Indeed. RM for Raymond just says M for move on.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
think
much
Raymond was pretty grossed out. I
yeah.
think a lot of people with good character are grossed out.
Yeah.
Folks with good character are grossed out by this kind of stuff.
We don't need an episode like this. It was so unnecessary. D from the Great Eric K, fire up the Claboni. I would rather make a hoarder out of a belly button lint than watch these last three again.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
The Comic Relief Crusader says D for dumb. Gotcha. And now number one, if you would like to do the honors, we have our good buddy Enigmatic Drop Bear. Go for
Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear. He's given this one a D, and he's got a 4-parter. He says this episode concluded a trio of stories about childhood trauma. This time we see a possible consequence when left untreated and manifested in adult form. There was something disconcerting about this episode. Perhaps it was the contrast of Jev and Tarmin. Whereas Jev was creepy, he did not come across as menacing. Tarmin was presented as affable, Inad as gentle and kind. So the catalyst for Jev's sociopathy was not properly established.
it.
Mommy didn't hug me enough.
I don't know. Are jealous of his dad? I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird, and it's not believable. 4-4. In the opening scene, Keiko said, "It's Abachan, my grandmother. This is incorrect usage. It's her grandmother, so she would use Sobo. Abachan is used to refer to someone else's grandmother."
Wow.
Ooh, so bad.
ED, great stuff.
Researching. Oh, ED, that's a good one. Bad
Fantastic.
research on
Gotta
the
love
part
ED.
of the writers, the teleplay writers. Then great, great thing to pick up on there. I did not know that. I know
Wow.
absolutely nothing about Japanese. So how cool for you to add that. Thank you so much.
Well done, ED. Spectacular stuff. Mrs. Dadman says F. First time with a multi review. Oh, okay. I hate this episode, she says. A total disrespect to anyone who has been involved in a grape. I feel dirty after watching this. I can
I love you.
understand there.
I love you. I totally agree. I love you so much, Mrs. Dadman Walking. I
You
totally,
rock.
totally agree.
Mrs. Dadman rocks it. Troy has no idea how to guard against a mind probe. The only bright side, we see Troy and Riker's best acting while they're in a coma. Oh, Mrs. Dadman, brutal. I love it.
Baby, I don't know what you're doing right now, but you need to stand up and take a bow because that was an outstanding review. Love you, Mrs. Dadman.
Nice. Michael Beacom says D. I've written and deleted multiple responses. Why did they go there? This is too big a topic for me to address, and too serious a one. Wrong time and place to address. Badly written. Michael Beacom, absolutely. It's kind of just.
I don't think I've ever been more proud of one of the people in our community than I am of Michael Beacom right now. Wow, Michael Beacom, what a beautiful, beautiful thing to have on our marquee. You are a lovely person. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful response. Excellent.
I sometimes wonder how something like this gets greenlit, if you know what I mean. Like sitting around, somebody has to sign off on it. I mean, enough people are sitting there going, you know what? Look, I see what you're saying with this idea, but it's really not something I think we can handle properly, particularly well. It's gonna be cheesy. It's just not gonna sit well with people. I don't think we need to do this episode, bosses. What do you think? How about we don't do this one? I'm putting the stamp. I am stamping this one. We will not make it. Nah, screw it. It's filler. Got to fill up with something. Just do it. No one care. Kal-El.
Boss man, I beg your pardon. Sorry for interrupting.
Right.
But Pop Culture Republic, our wonderful friend Pop Culture Republic, just walked through the door. And guess who else is here? Zathras. Crack, crack.
Pop Culture Republic and Zathras. Welcome, my good friends.
Love
Always
you guys.
great to see you. Yes, indeed. All right. Oh, kidoki. Well, let's see here. Who we have? Okay, Kal-El says D. This could have been an interesting episode dealing with a sensitive subject, but it was poorly executed. Some of the most traumatic scenes made no sense, particularly Dr. Crusher's own traumatic memories. I still don't. Never mind. I'm with you. I don't get that one either. The audience's shared traumatic memory is seeing that thing attached to Patty Stew's head. This particular episode would have fit right in with the current lineup of
of the filth.
Of the filth. the filthy filth. The CW shows, and no, that's not a good thing. No, sir. No, sir, it is not.
In space.
Briggs in space. Yes.
Actually, millennials crying in space.
But there would have been a lot of hugging in that episode and crying and stuff. The lovely Six says, "Thank you for saying that, Raquel. Again, you said what's on my heart. In my heart, I think she meant. Thank you, Six. Very lovely. We appreciate you. You rock, Six." Mr. Angel, the chef, says, Z. The writers of this episode had grand dreams and plans to bring a compelling and mind-blowing story. Too bad they went on vacation and left it to a bunch of cheap replacements to write it. That's well said there, Mr. Chef. Well done, sir. Well done, sir, indeed, sir. Gentleman Walking 55 says, B. But I'm torn. I thought the general plot made sense and made for effective drama, but I did not feel like sci-fi should sci-fi just because of the images they showed when Troy was attacked. Let me find your second one here, Dad Man. Hang on a second, buddy. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. The use of that graphic imagery moved it from a concept to a realistic event that I witnessed. They could have made the point without showing the physical attack
Yeah.
was very disturbing.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have a place in Star Trek, I would have to say. Wolfie rating suck. Why is Pickard wearing the wrong uniform? Wasn't Jack portrayed wearing the? Yes, he was. That's true, but that was later. The Rathacon red in most flashbacks and holograms. That's true, but it was earlier. It was in Family. So yes, it was a big screw up. Good pernt. That's a very good pernt. I still can't believe they doubled down on this idea with Troy and Nemesis. Why? Because they're obsessed with. Maybe Alan Moore wrote him because he used to write too much about grape. So there we go. Now that and Amanda Bear. F.
Batman, I beg your
Yes.
pardon. Please excuse me for interrupting, but one of our wonderful friends here, part of our community, friend of ours just walked through the door. Matthew Pounder. Good evening, Captain. Matthew
Matthew.
Pounder here.
All right, Matthew Pounder. Great to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Thank you for popping in, and I hope you're doing well tonight. Now that the next Amanda Bear says F. I always disliked this episode. The Mind R was disconcerting, and I think a terrible way to use Counselor Hamilton's sexuality and vulnerability to get ratings. Exploitive, eh? Yeah. I hear you. Absolutely. Scuba Pizza's D for disturbing. I didn't see this one as a kid, but watching it the other night, I could not believe this followed up 2 kid-centric episodes. Good point. Badly done, so off the wall.
Agreed.
I hear you, buddy.
Agreed. And who among us in the community was saying that it almost felt as though they were steering the ship towards a younger audience. And so when you put that in
Except this
context
week.
with Scuba Pete's comments,
Right.
it really is true. This is the way people were feeling while they were watching it. Like it's like being hit by a freight train. What are we doing here? Are we making it?
It's not a military ship. It's a science ship.
And
It's for kids. It's always been for
Holy
kids.
shit.
or is this like a serious show that's going to explore grape and do it so terribly that people just want to slap you like in Airplane? Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, Pleasant Valley Picker says Spock mind melding with the Horta was beautiful. He saved their entire species. I agree.
Snail Messiah just walked through the door.
Hey,
Everybody,
Snail.
put your garlic butter away. Put your escargot forks down. The Snail Messiah is in the house.
Hey there, Snail. Good to see you. Good to see you. Phantom Outsider says A+. I love this episode. It is the greatest thing ever made. I really wish they'd have made a sequel to it, then remade it again in every show. It's the most wonderful. Oh, sorry. I was reading it backwards. Sorry, Phantom. He says,
"What the heck?"
D. A Phantom Outsider says D. This episode was dumb to have was dumb to have a meaningful episode. The victim should be a fully developed character that the audience would care about. The barely one-dimensional Troy doesn't qualify. Let's see here. Again, who would allow anyone to just wander around in their head? Oh, sure, come on in, invade my brain. That's a hard pass. But did they sign the waiver?
Yeah.
You'll find a clause that allows for this action. You
I
got
agree
me,
with
buddy.
Phantom Outsider. You're sitting in 10 Forward in a bar in front of everyone. And somebody says, "Hey, can I read your mind and draw up some of your memories in front of everyone here? Let's do it." Be like,
got me.
"Nope, that's a hard nope. I'll have a tequila. I'm going back on my shift. See you later. Bye."
Mazer said rated S for suck.
Yes.
I'm with you there. There you go. The great toxic man flu says C-, 1 of 0. My laptop died and I was unable to watch the episode, but I think I am no longer in the time travel trope. I am, however, stuck in the Nexus with Guinan, who has gained a lot of weight. Uh-oh. We're in trouble on this next one. I am still in some kind of strange place. Apparently, the only people able to fix a ship on its maiden voyage are 3 retired Starfleet officers for the plot to work. Is that Lazarus? Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to do a Lazarus special on you.
Scuba Pete says, "Raquel, like an Airplane," and then in quotes, "Doctor, you're wanted up front."
I love that movie. A hospital. What is it? It's a big building with patients, but that's not important now. Uh, Chuck Marble says S for socks. Uh, Pushed boundaries, but also felt unsavory and definitely not family friendly. It's a psychological horror story, but told in an unimaginative, exploitive way. There were also plot holes,
Mm-hmm.
big ones. Let's see here. Um, since the federations know several semi-telepathic species,
Yeah.
why don't they have laws against telepathic assault? Good
Yeah.
point. And what was the Yulian's motivation? Kicks? Not a great date episode.
Yeah.
Date episode.
I'm gonna totally agree with Chuck on that.
Exactly. No, the mystery aspect was no mystery. The culprit seemed so obvious to me that I thought it was misdirection at first. Just about, yeah, me too. That would have been a good idea. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And there's the thing: as dull as still with all the problems of the episode, if it had turned out to be someone else, I'd have given it some points. Like, okay, I thought,
Yeah.
but they didn't even care.
They just didn't give a single crap about this episode.
It didn't feel like there was a resolution. E.g., shouldn't Troy have been seriously traumatized? But next up, nah, it'll be fine. As was a critical drinker likes to say, it'll be fine.
We got a bot. Somebody nuked the bot.
Oh, I can't even see it. Okay, thank you. I guess I should be glad it was another kid episode. It wasn't another kid episode. Yes, I guess small mercies. Toxic Mantle. That's one more. I feel null, void, like defied by zero kind of stuff. Wow. You are loopy. You are loopy, young man. Mark D with a C says A plus 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 plus. It's the greatest episode ever made. I love it so much. I destroyed all my other episodes because they could never compete with it.
Oh God.
Mark D with a C says C minus. The episode is trying to show this psychological abuse. Show that psychological abuse is as bad as physical attack with a sci-fi twist. It fails in that story. It's poorly written, lacks any real stakes and emotional impact.
Exactly.
Indeed. I do like the idea of a race that are archaeologists of the mind. Yeah, okay, sure. Preserving history. However, I find it hard to believe that that the Yulians have not had a crime similar to this in 300 years. Yeah. Been a while. As far as they know, anyway. Yeah. We got a standard plot twist, and in the end, we're left with a poopy diaper. Yeah. One more.
Yeah, I think this is a rating. I just saw, and it's Hungry Boy, so.
Hungry Boy says imagination numbing pseudo-medical drama plus a focus on silly Sirtis. A focus on silly Sirtis. For a sci-fi fan, it's like being served a sundae, but one made of rancid mashed potatoes. F.
Love.
I hear you. So yeah, everyone. We got a super chat. Oh my goodness, JT Kirk, thank you so much for that. This is a science ship. Where is the ambassador? Like a little cross between Star Wars reference. I got it. Nice Star Wars cross reference there, buddy. Thank you so much for that super chat, my good friend. I appreciate you. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's a poopy diaper, Wolfie. It's a PC-looking poopy diaper. I agree.
Come on.
I
think we're ready to go to our final episode of the evening.
Yeah, and it's no masterpiece.
Are we final? Are we ready for our next episode?
Yes, we are, boss.
All right. You sound really thrilled.
Here we go. The Masterpiece Society, Season 5, Episode 13. Unfortunately, we all watched this for the very first time on February 3rd, 1992. Let's stay copyright compliant. I'm going to be reading from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block and Carrie J. Erdman. Receives the blessing of Ronald D. Moore and company, as there are so many interviews and original source material. There's a lot of it contained herein. So please turn your hymnal to page 241. We're going to get into the Masterpiece Society.
Picard is frustrated when Aaron, the leader of a human colony on Moab 4, resists the Enterprise effort to save his world from impact by a rapidly approaching fragment of a stellar core. Because the inhabitants of the colony have been genetically engineered to constitute a perfect society, Aaron refuses to allow them to evacuate, nor is he happy about the corruption factor involved in allowing Picard's crew to mix with his society as they work together to prevent the disaster. Complicating matters is Aaron's attraction to Counselor Cameltoe and other colonists' desire to leave her manufactured utopia. Writer James Caan's single contribution to Star Trek The Next Generation was a story treatment titled The Perfect Human. Soon after, he set out on a career writing for such series as Tech War, Xena, Warrior Princess, Melrose Place, all of which led him to a supervising producer position on Star Trek Voyager. Well, that explains a lot. Uh, Writer Adam Belanoff's career followed a similar trajectory. Working from Caan's treatment, he drafted his only TNG teleplay, giving it the new title, The Masterpiece Society. Belanoff then moved on as a writer and producer on Murphy, Brown, and Cosby, and then into a long tenure as co-supervising producer on The Closer. Yeah, this totally makes sense. I can totally see this now. Why the suck is so hard. And so the episode provided a fine beginning for their impressive careers. Impressive careers? Well, that's still up for debate. Not many elements from The Perfect Human ended up in the Masterpiece Society, Belanoff noted in 1993. But one of the things that did make it was the genetically engineered society. In Caan's conception, it was an idyllic community that contained essentially 100 Dolph Lundgrens and Paulina Porizkovas. Wow, I haven't seen that name in a long time. Romping around, semi-clothed, Adam and Eve-like. It was a beautiful Blue Lagoon colony. Wasn't Blue Lagoon a brother and sister? That's weird. Anyway, Michael Miller was about to discard the concept when Belanoff arrived to his office, courtesy of USC Graduate Screenwriting Fellowship. I asked Michael, if you were designing such a community, would you design a place where everybody had beautiful blonde hair and large biceps? You mean in the Apple? Wouldn't it be more interesting to have one Mozart, one Picasso, and one Einstein, and so on, creating this masterpiece society where each person was in and of himself a masterpiece? Piller liked the idea, of course he did, and gave the writing assignment for Caan's treatment to Belanoff, who incorporated Joe Manofsky's suggestion that the society was contained within a controlled ecosystem, a la Tuscan's Biosphere 2. Belanoff added one additional twist. People need obstacles, he explained. In a place where everyone is an Einstein or Mozart, there's nobody to perform for them. Everything is provided for, and life is quite easy. Oh, like in 4 or 5 stories in TOS? Things would tend to stagnate. So we created a biosphere where everything was so finely balanced that even one person's departure could harm it, because we haven't seen that before. The teleplay was generally well received, except by one particular viewer who wasn't easily impressed. My genetics teacher watched this episode and thought it was the drama was great, but the genetics part was terrible, Belanoff said. Wow. So your genetics teacher was wrong because the whole episode sucked. Anyways, Bobby, that's all the block text has to say about this real pooper stinker, the Masterpiece Society. What did you think of this crappy coverage in this poopy episode?
Oh, this is hilarious. I don't know. The coverage is what it is. I mean, I really didn't learn. Well, I learned a few things. It sounds like that no one really liked the episode, but I don't know. You're just making me laugh too much. I can't even think.
Notes?
All right, this episode. Yeah, it was good coverage. JD Lewis, hello there.
Lewis!
And Heat Sinker. I don't think I know you, Heat Sinker. Good to see you. In fact, Heat Sinker asked. I saw asked in there in the chat. Are we reviewing the 5th season? We're on the 5th season now. We're reviewing all of Star Trek, Real Trek 66 through 05, only Real Trek. And we've been doing it for over a year. And just to let you know, for those who knew. And so, yes, we are now on the 5th season of TNG.
Yes,
So
which has been a very inconsistent season. And
wow,
tonight we are
consistent show.
experiencing some of those inconsistencies.
Ooh, are we?
Mhm.
Here's Toxic Man Flu.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
sweetheart. What a
Uh,
sweet human being. I
Thank you,
love you,
Toxic
Chima.
Man Flu. Yeah, yes, indeed. Appreciate you. You're too kind. He says, yes, another Counselor Darren Moose Knuckle Troy episode on the planet Fluidity. I hear the writers of this did their best work on Happy Meal boxes. Oh my God, I love you.
Oh, he's the best. Sometimes he makes me cry laughing like I can't even handle it.
Wonder what her genetics teacher thought of the Send in the Clones episode. Good one. So, all right, here you go. In order for something, because for the questions asked by this episode to be, I don't know, to have weight, you have to have a better premise because this is a stupid ass idea. This episode is built on a flawed premise. We're supposed to believe that these people are genetically engineered to be exactly what what they are, and they're somehow that's a masterpiece society. It's boring as shit. Who wouldn't want to leave there?
Yeah. It's
I
just
mean, they have nothing. They're robots.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to leave a dome?
I
So you're
like
living in a biosphere and you're climbing the walls.
I know
and
what they were trying to. No, yeah, go ahead. You're right.
No, just like there's nothing left to learn. You've learned everything there is to learn. They choose what kind of a life you have.
Programmed. You're a robot. So I understand what this is trying to say. It's trying to make a commentary on that. That's fine. But the fact is that would never happen. I mean, it wouldn't. It would just be a stagnant society. I mean, they wouldn't. For example, this guy wouldn't be. Well, how could he fall in love with her or anyone else if he's not supposed to?
I don't know. I
like now. For example, I love that actress who plays the girl that Geordi, who helps with Geordi, the lady, the engineer and stuff, because she was on an Enterprise episode later.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff with her, I kind of liked because I'm like, yeah, I'd want to leave too. And the episode touches on that, but only a few of them want to leave. But all that's fine and good, right? But you have this guy here, and the other guy arguing about, well, don't let them come help us. Oh, I'll let the world be destroyed then.
It's dumb. Everyone would be like Day Young, which is Hannah Bates, and everyone would be like her. If they were true geniuses, there's no way you could tie them down. It would be like a Jonathan Swift. It would be like the Lilliputians trying to tie down, the giant. Wild horses couldn't drag these geniuses away from being able to experience and imbibe something new. They would be in a perpetual state of edification, of a hunger to make themselves these wonderful experts. They would not just stay under the dome. And it doesn't make any sense.
The judge guy was making an argument to let the thing destroy them. We would rather die than break our programming. Well, go ahead and die then, because you're not alive anyway.
Yeah. No wonder that they will accept death so easily. I mean, they're not Mozart. This is not
programmed
Einstein.
to be that way. Yeah.
No Michelangelo. No Michelangelo would live this way.
It's a very faulty premise. It does not make any damn sense, and it's tough to care about them because none of these people lived any kind of life. They were just told what they had to be from outset, and somehow that's a great way to live.
Mm-hmm. Inert geniuses who are also so like derp that they can't even, that their tech is decades old and they're not even familiar with transporter technology.
Yeah, they don't have transporters. Why don't you guys have transporters? If
we're going to talk about that in a minute because I cover that in my notes.
Go for your notes. I'm sorry. Go for the notes.
No, you don't have to apologize at all, boss man. So these are the notes I took while I watched the show. This is yet another planet that must be evacuated, but people won't leave, plus genetically superior people in total isolation. This is way too much Troy at this episode. Episode after episode, Counselor Cameltoe. She's a far more interesting character if they just would have written her the way Gene told them to. This is dumb.
Dumb xenophobic colony of humans using banned genetic engineering, and Picard's closing speech sounds ridiculous. No one feels sorry for an Earth colony of genetically enhanced xenophobes who openly act with revulsion towards a blind man. Geordie, why am I watching this shit? The Federation, the
Planet of the
Federation
snobs.
the Federation banned genetic engineering after the eugenics wars on Earth in the 20th century. So we know this from Khan in TOS for Space Seed. The genome colony was supposedly established in 2168. We also have in Enterprise Affliction that genetic engineering of humans was banned decades before 2164. So why does this episode exist? It's stupid. By TOS standards for Space Seed, it can't exist. By DS9's Dr. Bashir, I presume, everyone is nuts, so it can't exist. By Affliction, it doesn't exist. So all of Star Trek says that this episode cannot and should not exist. And so I'm here to say that it doesn't exist. Let's just nuke it.
Nuke it for more, but that's the only way we can be for sure.
That's it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. I got nothing to add. It's like that very premise makes it the episode. It negates the episode. It's null and void. And that speech at the end by Picard made me want to punch him in the throat.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure we did the right thing. You say to Pope, yeah, but we killed, did we? He says, did we? Or whatever. I mean, well, yeah, they're breathing now. They've got, should you just let them die? Oh, no, maybe you should have, because they were already dead.
Yeah.
They weren't living. Yet some of them wanted to escape.
Yep.
Once they saw that there's a whole universe out there.
Yep.
It's just everything about the episode. It's just this. What do you? They don't even. I don't know. It goes back to a lot of things we've been saying about some of these other episodes. Like they don't. It's like they don't watch their own freaking show.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But it's just we know from Space Seed that this should not exist,
right.
and we know from DS9 in Dr. Bashir, I presume that it's not possible. And we know through ENT that it's not possible. So if it's not legally possible, and it's not physically possible, and it's not medically possible, then why does this episode exist?
I don't. It's just fill up time.
It's just crap. It's just absolute total crap.
I'm going to now ask everyone first. After everyone, hold on to your reviews until I ask the great number one. My wonderful number one, I would like for you to give me your rating of the Masterpiece Society. Then I will give mine. Then I will ask our wonderful chat for theirs. Go.
Well, this is no masterpiece for me. This is the master poop. This is like when somebody's had way too much Metamucil and they have to go into the washroom with the newspaper for an hour and a half. This is a no for me. This is a no. James Caan did a terrible job. Adam Belanov did a terrible job. It's Michael Piller did a terrible job. The suck is so bad in this episode. It's an F. It's an F. It's
wow.
an F.
You ain't getting an argument out of me. Our ratings have been the same all night, just about. I'm giving it an F for being friggin' stupid.
Look at what Hungry Boy just put up. I love you. You have no idea how much I love you.
All right, chat. Let it fly, and don't be shy. If you disagree with us, give it an A+. It's fine. It's up to you.
So the word's been given. The boss man has said, "Fire at will." Please put your rating first.
Make it so.
And then a brief comments, and we'll read them.
Make it so now. They're being starred. And after she gets a bunch of those lined up, I will get to busy with them. Oops. What happened?
It does weird stuff. When a big dump happens, it does weird stuff. We're getting a big dump to the chat. Don't worry about it, boss man. Just
one of them got.
Yeah, one of them did that. Yeah, I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's extremely.
That's cool. Is it still in the still starred?
Oh, I started right away
Okay,
afterwards.
good.
It's because when the new comments
Right.
box appears, it's in front of the star. So once it skips, it goes ahead and highlights. So
Gotcha.
it's annoying.
Gotcha. Mr. Angel says Z. A true genius always knows deep in his core that a utopia is a dream that destroys itself. That's very nicely said. Well done. They done now. Papa Delta Yankee says D. At least Troy didn't get violated again.
Yeah,
No, she just
agreed.
right. At least she didn't. There you go. That's it's, they call him Scuba Pizzas B minus. I found this whole genetic superior society just cilia, just cilia. Oh man, I mean the nucleus of. Oh wow, the nucleus. Oh man, he's punning us to death. Pun of this episode. The nucleus of this episode is something making Golgi
Golgi.
Golgi eyes at Troy. Please, I beg you, lie some to me and tell me we are done. Okay, that's all right. Okay,
Baby, you deserve the Puntastic Punerific Award. Stand up and take a bow. I love you.
your agonizer, please. Good one, Scuba. Did we have JT's first one? Maybe it's lower than this other one. Let's see.
It's so funny
I got it.
because the chat even noticed it this time. The chat was like, Chef was like, wow, the chat just went berserk on itself. It literally did like a mega dump. So it's all coming in now.
Gotcha. He says, D minus. Someone in the writer's room forgot to watch TOS Space Seed. My science officer said superior ability breeds superior ambition and shittier episodes. Let's see here. This episode travels in tropes that have been too well traveled and done in a callous, shallow, and non-canon way. Indeedishness. Who makes the decisions? Is it Gattaca style, or does an angry guy with a small mustache call the shots? Even the name Masterpiece Society sounds too close to they should call it Planet of the Snobs.
Well, yeah, and everybody's raising this point about the canon, and it really annoys me too because at least if you're gonna do something like that, if you're gonna betray Space Seed, and you're gonna mix up the dates and poop the bed on the dates, then and everyone else after you is compliant, like DS9 and Ent are compliant, then it makes it stick out even more to the fans. So why were you divergent? Why did you think that you could step out of that and do that? You should not have done that. Bad. You need shin kicks. Head desk, shin kicks.
Let's see here. Snorty says, F. Excuse me. Hang on a second. Sorry, coughing. Troy is suffering from a weekly case of AHRS, accelerated hormonal response syndrome. Otherwise, the episode strikes me as a rehash of themes covered in previous stories. Yes, I think that's fair to say.
She gets around more than the Decker unit, and that's saying something. The spurpies between the two of them. You need a hazmat suit to get near either one of them.
Mr. Angel has another one and gave it to Z again, but it's different. I think this is a true genius knows. In its core, the utopia is a dream that destroys itself. And for a bunch of high IQ geniuses, they're pretty darn stupid. The premise of the episode scares me. Extremist vibes.
Yep.
We have Enigmatic Drop Bear, if you would care to do the honors, number one.
All right, let's do it. I don't see any other new ones coming in.
Okay.
There's a big dump. The last one I got was Phantom Outsider. So
Gotcha.
Hopefully things will stay steady as I read.
Gotcha.
Enigmatic Drop Bear, the erudite bear, dropping the mic often. He's got a 4-parter here. He's giving this episode a C+. He says, the enterprise and the salvation of the CRISPR community. This episode was an improvement over unnatural selection, which also focused on eugenics, but was still lacking. Sorry, I'm just seeing some comments coming in. 2 of 4. Rather than enumerate its many shortcomings, I thought it may be more interesting to explore its central anomaly.
Hang on a second.
No problem, boss man. 3 of 4. It features a woman's planet-saving innovation augmented and refined through the inspiration of a disabled man of color. How could this be? It first aired in the early 90s. However, this sort of representation was apparently not invented until a couple of decades hence. What gives?
Yeah, that's not
He's taking
2014.
a very wonderful jab at the filth, and I have to say that I
Yes.
agree. And also, the statements that the person who plays Geordie, I'm not going to say his name, but the person
Right.
who plays Geordie complaining about having to wear the visor, complaining to the press that he did not want to portray a blind man. And so, yeah, what beautiful comments. Love, love, love you. Excellent, excellent.
Absolutely. Mega Cropper gives it a C. Thank you, Mega Cropper. Zathras says A plus. Said nobody. Raquel, tell everyone the 3 words I feel about this episode. Say those words 15 times. I woke up to see this.
Just for you, Zathras, because I love you. You ready?
Crap, crap, crap.
Toxic Man Blue says F is for frack. I
Yep.
kept expecting Dolly the clone sheep to have lines in this pile of enema aftermath. Wow. Wowza. Oh my goodness. Raymond. Raymond says
Oh, God.
Raymond says
So good.
F, I need a shower after all of these 4 episodes. Yeah, I hear you. Mm.
Oh, God. You can't even handle it. You guys are so funny, so brilliant, so funny. I love it. I love you all.
Mr. Tickletrunk says D plus, nonsensical. And what does being fully integrated with the environment actually mean? I don't know. We're never told, so we can't understand or sympathize. That's a science fiction storytelling sin. Good point.
And Bates doesn't suffer any ill effects from being, disconnected from her hive. What was going on with that, Mr.
Oh.
Tickletrunk? That was weird. Integrated into the biosphere? In what way? Very weird.
They just said, film and its filler. It's fine. We waste too much time with Madame Moose Knuckle and the used car salesman instead of seeing the impact of all of all this on their history. How is it falling apart? Let me get invested. Yeah, they don't. It's weak.
Yeah, he raises a good point. Why do we care about this community? And I felt the exact same way. So these are xenophobic people who literally crinkled their nose up and were openly disgusted by Geordie being blind. I'm right with Mr. Tickletrunk. Don't save these people. Let their dome crack. Let them get sucked out, just like Total Recall. Out onto the Mars surface. Just let them get sucked out of their biosphere. I don't even care.
You guys hang around with blind people?
Yeah, that's basically
Planet
what
of the
guy
snot.
says.
The planet of the snot balls.
Yeah.
Sadly, their plight had no impact, even though I liked some of the back and forth arguments. Both sides make good points, were interesting, but it was backloaded in the last third of the episode. I selfishly gave it bonus points because I got to see 2 character actors I don't get to see enough. Ron Canada, Ben Beck.
Mm-hmm.
Who was what was he?
He was the lover.
Oh, he was okay. I didn't really. I think I've seen the guy. And John Snyder, and John
Connor.
Snyder. Yeah, the camel toe whisperer, used car salesman. Okay.
Oh, wait, was it John Snyder who played?
He must have
Aaron
been
Connor.
the love interest, right? And
Yeah. And Ron Canada is Ron Canada. Yeah. Ron Canada played the that guy's blind. And John Snyder was the I'll wear a hazmat suit to climb on your camel toe.
Ron Canada was let's get, rather than see these icky other humans, let's just go ahead and die. His job was basically to say
Yeah.
we need to let ourselves die, boss. That's what I'm here for. I
Exactly.
was genetically engineered to tell you to let us die.
Yeah. Wolfie. I got 5 kids to feed. I love Total Recall.
Total Recall, I love it, but it's not that guy. Kal-El says F once again. Troy is a liability to the ship due to her libido. Perhaps that's why she was once involved with the Decker unit, as they seem to have that in common. Why wasn't Troy held accountable this time? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
plot convenience. Perhaps PR didn't want to fill out the paperwork for a new counselor. The story's premise was flawed, as it would never occur. That's a good point. Was that it? Or
I think that
did he have another? Oh no. Okay, but that was Kal-El, right? No, it's down here. Sorry. Even in the Star Trek universe, and the technological advancements it provides. Okay, I got you. I see. Sorry about that. I will drop one. And now we have our wonderful chief engineer. I mean, not chief engineer. Our wonderful communications officers. Go for it. Number one.
the lovely and very nerdy and wonderful anti-derivative Jill. She's got a 4-parter here. She's given this one a D. She says a sheltered eugenics society using artificial selection discover the outside world, and some want to leave, and they do. Doing so is supposed to destroy the society, but we're never shown how. Yes, and how are they like integrated into the biosphere? 204. The scenes solving the tractor beam, moving the core fragment were all right, as the moral discussion that Geordie wouldn't have been allowed to be born in their society. Yes.
Yeah, that I do like that bit.
That's the only redeeming quality in the whole episode. But given
Agreed.
what's his dinkle, I don't want to say his name on air. I don't even want to give him that. But given his recent comments, think of the heaps of shame. Just heaps of shame. Anyway, let's keep going. 3 or 4. Beyond just the mention of it, the dilemma of that morality isn't challenged further. But at least anyone wanted to leave is being allowed. It wants to be brave through the world, but falls short. 404. Sometimes it says the society is wrong. Other times the Enterprise. I believed we'd have had more time to correct this moral ambiguity without the romantic element. Surprised more don't leave. And Jill is like that because Jill and I have a lot in common. And whenever it starts to go more towards this science fantasy and you don't stick with the science fiction, you lose a lot of people. And I have to agree with Jill. Jill, that was an amazing assembly of observations. Absolutely outstanding. Love you.
Indeed. Oh, look, I forgot to put the word society on there. That means this episode is a masterpiece. Of. I should have put the word of. The Comic Relief Crusader says D. I think he means D minus. Scary how, in a way, it kind of mirrors what is happening today with the NPC mentality. Yeah, I hear you. Conform to what you should be, or be canceled, suffer, live free, be free. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Absolutely. Thank you so much, the Comic Relief Crusader. Mr. Angel. Wow, the chat just went berserk on itself. Yeah.
Just wanted you to see that so that everyone knows it's not you, boss man.
Okay. Yeah, Did it stop doing it? You think you got all the chats now and everything?
Yeah, I think the 17 that you have in there, that's it. I think that's it. 17
Okay.
more.
Okay, good. There you go. There, I fixed it. D for okay, we go. Phantom Outsider. D for dom 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 dom. A grandiose title for a turd. So everyone in this society is a specialist, but unfortunately their school bus was a short one. The entire concept is idiotica.
It is.
Let's see here. Oh man, where is he? Where's the second one? There we go. I'm gonna get that out of the way so I forget it. I want to thank you, Eric Carroll. You are too kind. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Your first officer is most astute. She is the best.
Thank you. That's
The ship-
incredibly kind of you to say.
The best in the fleet. She's gonna get her own ship one day, and I'm not gonna let her. I'm gonna find a way to like sabotage it.
I will never leave you.
And you know how Picard is always trying to get rid of Riker? It's gonna be the reverse.
I'll never leave you. You're going to be my captain for life.
Phantom Outsider continues and says, do only leaders generate future leaders? Who decides how gets to be, I think it means who gets to be what in their society? Look how, that's why it was such a stupid idea. They're not robots. How impaired their leader is, and how he calls Troy, who's one-dimensional and genetically inferior, mate.
Yeah. Because she's
Yeah.
half Beta Z.
Right,
Betazoid.
exactly.
Yeah.
I hope that whoever holds the lease on that biodome kept their receipts so they can get a refund. Excuse me. The leader get a refund. The leader is flawed, and they obviously suppress creativity. Why we evolved beyond your accept for our.
Phantom
Okay.
Outsider is raising a good point. Just because someone has a mother that is a doctor and a father that is a doctor, that doesn't make them a doctor. It could mean that they're an incredible artist. It
Nope.
does not make sense, and it's not like, put in science, outcome science. That's not the way having children works.
It's even stupid. Another reason it's stupid is because, Khan wasn't programmed to be a dictator.
No.
He was just genetically engineered. They didn't program him to be to be anything. They just, other than being, quote unquote, mentally and physically superior.
Mm-hmm.
It was his ambition that made him when he was and all that other stuff. Khan wasn't. They didn't say, "Hey, we're going to make a new dictator who's going to take over quarters of the world." That's not how it works. This is this idea that you could genetically engineer someone to be a certain occupation and all this stuff, and do and rewrite their life for them. Just get out of here.
It doesn't make any sense. And the thing is that Khan was also not all there,
Well, yeah, but-
Yours is a superior. And we get that again in DS9. And we're very clear about that in Ent as well. Every single time we go to this, there is it's who was it? Toxic Man Flu who brought up Dolly there, and that's cloning, but it still speaks to this once we start messing around with it. So it defies canon because this sort of put perfection in outcomes perfection, almost cloned, is preposterous.
Yepper. Tech our lifestyle. Excuse me, everyone. Hang on a second. Check our lifestyle, our problem-solving skills, and our ability to deal with the unexpected. Oh, no, visitors. Our society is now going to be destroyed. Cause nobody in a spacefaring society would... Hang on, dude. I got to find you here. Whoa, where is he? Maybe he hasn't written it yet.
I don't know. I'm up to date, boss man.
Well, that's the last one I got on Phantom. Eric K says, F, may the lease of 1,000 camels infest your crotch and your arms be too short to scratch from making me watch all these again. Oh, yeah. F. These remind me that the writers must be Wesley.
Yeah.
Only he sucks this much.
Yeah. Sure.
You love Wesley and you know it, Eric.
You do.
Oh, he's on there again. Oh.
It's because he had a correction. May the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your crotch and your arms be too short to scratch for making me watch these all again. So
you are correct, sir.
He just wanted to show that it was a typo on his phone or on his computer.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. D- says Michael Beek. I barely remember this one. So Khan was right in making the master race is cool if they're artists. Either one, let them die, or two, Mr. Worf, full security detail, phasers on stun, beam them up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, force them. We don't want a bunch of any more snobs in the galaxy than they already have.
How dare you be blind? What?
Dad man.
What am I watching?
Yeah, you're blind. And he's like was already said, I would have been killed here.
Yeah.
Or prevented from being born. No rating. Says Dadman Walking. I didn't get around to watching it, and that sounds like I didn't miss anything. So,
Yeah.
in your honor, I went to the kitchen and maybe made a bowl of chocolate ice cream to listen to the reviews. Well, you never know. You might like it. But
Dadman Walking, I crushed a Dutch brownie before I went on air. It was delicious. Then I had a tea. And when I'm done here, I'm going to go and crush another brownie.
Crush it. You should eat it too, though. Do you eat it after you like them crushed before you eat them, right?
Just shove it all in.
You crush a brownie before you eat it? Wow. Okay. No, I mean, look, people do that one.
No, I don't actually.
Must be a Canadian thing.
No, it's just.
I know. Oh, Lordy. Next, Amanda Bear says, there were a few moments in this episode that I liked. I give it a D. Oh, I thought they could have done better mocking, or I think making these ideas. And again, Naratim the same way. I liked a lot of the stuff with Geordi and that that woman and some of the questions raised. It's just that the premise is just too out there.
Yeah.
It's too flawed.
Boss man, I hate to interrupt you. Please excuse me. I'm so sorry. But our friend Michael Beacom, he has to go. And obviously it's because he has to work in the morning, I'm pretty sure.
All right,
That's what
Michael
he usually
Beacom.
said. So, Michael, thank you for your wonderful interactions and your wonderful contributions to this community. I love your comments and I love your company. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next week, my friend.
Take care, Michael Beacom. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. We appreciate you. Hey, hello there, J25. I did not know you were here. It is good to see you, my friend. J25, folks, is here and says, how many scientific disciplines can they even practice on this wasteland? No travel, so no propulsion, no oceanography, no botany, zoology. They just sit around playing the piano all day, I guess. He gives it a D. I guess they just sit around playing piano all day, man.
Love that comment.
I hear you.
No, Snail Messiah, not a pot brownie. I don't do that sort of thing. Just a regular brownie. And that's all I need. Chocolate is enough for me.
The fact that you would even go there. Wolfie says rating. I don't know if he means EFF or just means the FF, probably. With the FF minus, I guess. This species genetically engineered anal gland spray poo at such high pressure they had all the top scientists working on metaphasic shielded adult diapers.
This might be one of the best comments we've ever had here before.
Wow,
a Dutch
dude.
brownie, Mr. Angel says. A Dutch brownie, ooh, that has a very different meaning in the Netherlands. Well, it shouldn't. Here in Canada, the Dutch, all over the world, the Dutch are known for having superior chocolate. So saying you're having a Dutch brownie, you know that it's made with incredibly expensive chocolate, usually very dark chocolate, because it holds no meaning here to include the fact that in the Netherlands, pot is legal because, of course, in Canada, pot is legal as well. But that's not my cup of tea. But yes, Dutch brownie infers that, indicates that it is made with extremely expensive dark chocolate. Yum, 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 yum. I love, love, love them.
This is why they were unprepared for the stellar core fragment, Darwin's poo remover. They should have just beamed up when they made the comment to Geordi. Let's see here. Pop
Great
Culture
comment.
Republic says, love these comments. F seems to be the grade of the evening. Well, some people like it. What are you going to do? If the premise wasn't so preposterous, I might like it, but it's just so outrageous. Snortapooba says decks 10, 11, 12 are full of poop, and the Claboni is down. It's right there. What do you mean it's down? JT Kirk says, didn't want to portray a blind man, but Geordi on the show says more than once, I can see just fine, and plays off like the visor is no biggie. Diva alert. Yeah, the guy's a asshead. He's not like his character. Snorty says LeVar Burton joins the long list of TNG stars who have toppled themselves on their own pedestals. Yes.
That's one of the best comments of this evening.
You like that one, eh?
Yep.
Chuck Marble says, it's a D for me. 4 bad eps in a row. Unlikable eps with unlikable characters. These 4 feel like a season of CBS Drek.
The
Okay,
filth.
here goes. The Masterpiece Society felt more like the Master Race.
Yeah.
Let's see. Get to the next. Let's find the next one here. How could the crew be non-judgmental for these despicable elitists? This story passed through 6 writers. They couldn't figure out how to define a genetically engineered society, and it shows. Sorry. Cinematically flat. Scenes mainly consist of characters discussing the episode themes, flat performances from the guest star to Troy has romantic feelings for a character with no personality after she knew for 5 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
Just thought I would add that. No wonder she likes the Decker unit. Did the crew not know Federation history? Poor ending. Poor ending, by the way. I detested Picard apologizing to this uppity society. As Kirk said to Spock in Star Trek 6, let them die. Hey, you guys want to die and be dumbasses.
They're terrible people.
Yeah. Let's see here. A bunch of tool sheds, if you ask me. Mr. Tickle Trunk said that the chat is schizophrenic. Sometimes it thinks it's a race car.
Yes, it's true. It's going right crazy tonight.
An enigmatic drop there. You were too kind, my friend. Thank you so much.
EMF.
Oh, it says enigmatic drop there.
No.
Oh, enigmatic. Okay. I can't see it that well.
Enigmatic drop rear.
Enigmatic. Okay.
He's making a poop joke. It's TMF.
I got to put my screen closer. Why would you do that?
Because he's funny.
I'm going to use my agonizer on you. No, thank you. Just kidding. Thank you, TMF, you rascal. I can't see that close. I just saw the word in them. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Damn.
He does it on purpose. He's the puntastic, punnerific dad joke king. His 5 kids.
5?
5.
Oh, my goodness.
But only one still lives at home. They've all flown the coop.
Well, we won't use the agonizer on you this time. Thank you, TMF. I haven't been this confused, disappointed, and in this much pain since I watched Lazarus fall off Spock's brain into the cage.
I love you, Kim.
Oh man, love it. You are the man. Oh my goodness. JT Kirk. Oh, thank you so much for that super chat, JT Kirk. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, "Why not send data? Phaser send data.
Yeah.
Phaser the aqueduct and sell you." Okay, yeah, episode
See?
this. Yeah.
I love
Say,
you, JT.
let's go, or beam these people up, make bad Irish stereotypes, drop them off on the clone planet.
I think that comment
work.
just won the whole evening. JT Kirk, that was incredibly nerdy, and I loved every single word of it. Beautiful, beautiful. I caught all of that. That was amazing. I love you.
Very nicely does. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. And then why did he take the role? To get paid. He's just a whiny celebrity brat. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty simple.
Eric Carroll. I love Eric Carroll already.
Absolutely, Errol. Eric, he just took it because he's a LeVar hubris.
Yeah.
Equals hubris, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now I believe we are to our final review of the evening, folks. Our great chief engineer, Mark D with a C, says A+. Just kidding. C+. Once again, the writers try to tackle an interesting subject and fail to deliver a good story. The concept of eugenics in the 20s led to terrible times and maybe means 90s times in human history. It would have been more interesting. Oh, okay. Well, I'll get right to that one, Phantom. It would have been much more interesting, although maybe derivative, to discover the colony was populated with illegally engineered humans. Then Picard has to decide their fate. Actually, yeah, it would have been better. I agree with that. Um, the episode does give us the great exchange between Hannah and LaForge. LaForge, no, I'd have been terminated as a fertilized cell. Yes, I like that bit as well. Hannah, I love the actress who plays Hannah. Oh my gosh, she's a babe. Hannah, it was the wish of our founders. That no one had to suffer a life with disabilities. LaForge, who gave them the right to decide whether or not I should be here. Mark, whether or not I might have something to contribute, or whether or not I have something to contribute. And LaForge says, if the answer to all of this is in a visor created for a blind man who never would have existed in your society, yeah. Oh, so what? Yeah, that was a good bit as well. Phantom Outsider says, missed my number 5. Okay, sorry. No spacefaring society would ever expect that one day visitors might come calling, which of course is the Achilles heel of a society without vacations or hotels. Clearly, they are insane. Yes, and Rod Thunderheart, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate it, my friend. It's good to see you. He says, "Hail, Clobby and Raquel. Just a few bucks to keep the lights on." Oh, you're too kind, my friend. Thank you. May I toss my book link? Sure. Well, you'll have to get a wrench to do it. If you can get it, like send it to one of us, to Eric or to one, or I'll find. If you can send it to me, I can put it in there. If you're not, because I don't know if you're wrenched, and I don't have the thing up right now. May I toss my book link? I love revisiting these episodes, but heavy into BMX then. Oh, you were a BMX rider then. But yeah, absolutely, Rod. Let me
Boss man, I need to let you know as well. I've gone all the way back to 51 minutes past the last hour. So, like the last hour. And so I've just looked through an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes worth of comments, and I cannot find Hungry Boy's comment for this episode. It's not showing up on my side. Can someone who can see Hungry Boy's comment for this episode point it out to me? I have lots of comments from him, and they're all great. They're beautiful. He's chatting away with all of you, but I don't see his review for this episode, and I've gone back an hour and 15, an hour 20 minutes. Guys, help me. I need
sorry.
help.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Hungry Boy.
I would never leave Hungry Boy out. I love Hungry Boy.
Oh no, he knows we love him. We'll never do that.
I'm looking through now, boss.
Okay.
I'm looking through again. If anyone sees Hungry Boy's review of this, please let me know. I don't want to leave him out.
Oh, it says, Mark says it was blocked for language. Hungry Boys.
That's why. Okay, good. I feel better.
Says F-. This episode was crass, and so shall I be. I guess Camel 2 had a secret lady boner for metaphorical and philosophical John First and Jack Boots.
Hungry Boy's review.
That shouldn't have been cut out of there.
I've got it. Thanks to Jill. Hold on, honey.
Oh, you got it? Well, that was
Jill's
it right
got
there.
it. Jill grabbed it. Here it is, boss man. It's on the screen.
That was it right there, though. But okay, yeah. Hungry Boys reviewed this episode was crass. This episode was crass. So I shall be. So shall I be. I guess Camel 2 had a secret lady boner for metaphorical and philosophical jobverse and jackboats. F- equals 10. I mean, plus 10. Sorry. Times 10.
Sorry, did I make you read that twice?
You did.
I was looking to make sure we didn't miss him. That's a great.
That's good.
You're funny. Good. I'm sorry about that, boss.
You're good. Don't be silly. You're
that
good.
Got blocked? That's shocking.
I don't know why that got blocked. Let's see. Toxic man flu. You rascal. How many times did you get this one? All right, that's it. I'm going to do to you what I do to Scuba Pete. I want you to reach behind your head, extend your hand, open your fist with a nice open hand, and then boom, right about backside the head. Boom from the head. We love Toxic Man. So, dude, you're the man. Let's see, Omega 101. I had to dip into the Greek alphabet to get this rating. Speaking of wild horses, it looks like 100 wild horses are pulling on the pantsuit to get Troy's camel toe that wedgied in. Did these founders never hear of The Shining? Oh God, all work and no play. Yes.
So funny.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Now, do we have all of our?
I think that's it,
I think
everyone.
we've got our reviews, everybody. Yeah.
Yep.
I think we got our reviews, my friends.
Good.
And yeah, well, I'll tell you what. It looks. What we will do here is we will start winding it down.
Look at this. Bonk. Just a toxic man flu just took your instructions and look at the sound effect.
I hope it didn't hurt. As long as it didn't hurt.
Love you, TMF.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to create the clobby. All right, here it's gonna be. Let's see the clobby slap. Anytime somebody, I need to reach out there. This is gonna be like the mind grape episode, right? With I'm reaching out with my mind meld thing. If one of you smart aleckies, hello there. What are you damn smart aleckies out there like toxic man flu or scuba Pete gets out of line? I'm going to say, hey, boy, I want you to reach behind your head and smack-a-doodle yourself right up inside there on the backside, just like your old mammy would when you were being bad as a boy. You hear me, son? That's my way of the agony booth.
TMF says, it's just my head, nothing important.
Good to see in
Pop Culture Republic says we need a soundboard, and that needs to be a new effect we add to the soundboard.
Yep. The Cloboni. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll make it the Clobberonimo. I don't know. We'll have a name for it. It'll be clobberish of some sort. It'll be like the clobber to the head. Yeah. The clobber smack. The clob smack. I don't know. I'll work on it. So you guys got to keep that crew in line there, you know. Well, I'll tell you what. I've had such a wonderful time, even the episodes notwithstanding. Hanging out, of course, with you, number one, is always fantastic, and our great crew that we have here.
I love you. You're my Star Trek soulmate. I love you with all my heart. You are very, very important to me. You're one of my best friends in this whole world. I look forward to every Saturday night spending it with you and being in this amazing community. I don't know what we ever did to deserve this amazing community, but I love each and every single person that comes here to talk about Star Trek and to even cheer and celebrate when the suck is strong. And it's great. It's just so much fun. And to be able to celebrate with such honesty, and it's a rollicking good time. It's riotously fun. And we have highs here and we have lows here, but we never let it interfere with our love for Star Trek. So thank you to this marvelous chat, one and all, for your incredible contributions tonight. You guys are so much fun and you are so intelligent and so funny. And thank you to our marvelous wrenches for running the show for us and helping us to produce this show. And Clobby, thank you for creating this space for us.
Aww.
I love you.
Toxic Manflu says, crap, you didn't read this ranting of mine. Is it this one here? Let's see. B+ at Clobber Times. Southern accent is believable, but in a Larry the Cable Guy and Forrest Kelly way, comic book violence as unruly chat members is not used enough. Oh, by the way, I have a treat for everyone. I forgot something.
Yes.
You know, with these crap episodes, especially the Mind Grape episode, let's be reminded of something. Mr. Worf would like to make a commentary on the Mind Grape episode. If you're ready, everyone, all of this. Now, here we go. You ready? Everyone get ready. Here we go.
For you, Mr. Worf, I would love to explore Klingon memories. Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed.
No probing.
No probing, folks.
Keep your probes to yourself.
Oh, I knew Toxic Manfred would like that one.
He's like, oh no. TMS like, oh no.
So number one, tell everyone about your works of science fiction, then I will do some show notes, and then we will say our goodbyes.
Okie dokie. Thank you, boss. I write science fiction, and it can be a lot of fun. If you like Edgar Allan Poe, and if you like Philip K. Dick, and you like that sort of genre, I write short stories, and I could sure use your support. You can find them on Amazon under RM Briggs. You can also find them on your Kindle device. Thank you very much, everyone.
Well, thank you so much, number one. And see here, show notes, everybody. Tomorrow night, every Sunday night at 11 p.m. Central in the U.S., the great Mark D. with the C, our chief engineer, he does Sunday Night Geekery. And he cordially invites you, to come hang out and please come watch the show. If you're up, if you're up, nothing to do, you want to do some geeking, just hey, he's the man for you. He's got some geeking going on there. So please, let's see. I'm sorry. Oh. I was there we go.
Raymond has to leave early, boss man. Raymond can't stay for the goodbyes.
Okay.
Raymond Feliciano, good night, my friend. And please follow Raymond Feliciano on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. It's Dolphin TV, King Dolphin TV, I think it's called. It's King Dolphin TV, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, Raymond Feliciano says, I'm off to bed. Have a great weekend. Well, you know what, Raymond Feliciano? You have a great weekend with your beautiful wife. You guys are such a great couple. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, for supporting this show. And I wish you the best and the greatest success with your channel. I think you're such kind people. So go on over and support Raymond, folks.
Yes, please do. Thank you, everyone. And of course, you got a lot of info in my description below for all the different channels and stuff like that. Let's see here. I've got a couple new Spinnerack videos out there for any comics fans. Monday night, Mark C. Comic Talk. I'll be talking about comics related stuff, of course. I got some things I need to talk, a little bit of comic book artists and stuff. But Wednesday, February the 9th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be celebrating Clobbering Times number 1000. And we'll just be hanging out. Look, hey, I've never seen this gentleman here before. Drunk 3PO. Hello there, Drunk 3PO. We're honored. Not Ace Cast Iron. Oh, my
Cast Iron's here.
My superhero friend Ace Cast Iron. Good to see you there, my brother. But Drunk 3PO, sir, it is an honor to see you here, my friend. Thank you for popping in. I'm a big fan of yours and a big fan of the great Ace Cast Iron. So I will be celebrating episode number 1000 of Clobbering Times Wednesday, as we say, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll go on for a good long time, and hopefully have some good friends pop in and say hello and stuff. So, Rogue Disney. Hello there, Rogue Disney. I've never seen you.
Another person that I've never met before.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Rogue Disney.
I've seen you in places, but I've never had you pop in here before. Thank you so much, sir. We were just getting done with our Saturday Night Star Trek episodes, but appreciate you being here. We're honored. Let's see here. So anyway, that's Wednesday, and of course, we do Clobby's Clubhouse on Thursday nights. Oh, thank you, Drunk 3PO. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
And again, I'm a big fan of all that you do, sir. I know you hear that every time you pop in. And then J-Man, there's going to be a Clobby Comics Classic Comics review on Valentine's night. So none of you married guys can show up for it, but J-Man and I don't know how he's getting away with it, but J-Man and I will be reviewing Kingdom Come. So and we're joined here by now as we say our goodbyes by our great chief engineer.
Hey,
Mark
thanks
Hewitt.
for letting me pop in to say hi to everyone. And Valentine's Day. Yeah, I don't think I can make that one. I'd
No.
like not
Better
to
not.
sleep
Your
on the
wife
couch.
is way too hot for you to be on a stream on Valentine's Day.
Unless it's in the afternoon or something. Maybe, but,
No. It'll be early,
way
but
to-
not that early.
it's a good way to have to present my agonizer to my wife. So yeah, that
Yeah.
would be not so
Well,
smart. Yeah.
Let us say our goodbyes to our wonderful friends who joined us tonight. Again, everyone, you were all troopers tonight, getting through those 4 episodes. Jesus,
Ouch.
but
But we had a great
ouch.
time. That was
It was a lot of
a
fun
fun
anyway.
time in the
Right.
chat, and everyone had a great time despite how
Right.
how bad those episodes were.
Here we go,
Oh,
folks.
God.
Let's get this done. 'Cause
Yep.
we like
it.
it's a tradition here at Saturday Night Star Trek. We give everyone a shout out, whether you were here, even if you're already gone. But when we start the show, and then we do it when we leave. We get out of here when we get out of here, and then you get to see our wonderful intro, outro, if you like that sort of thing. The Comic Relief Crusader, you were first, and you noted it when you jumped in. Thank you.
Nice.
Right here. Yeah, that's an excellent bear.
One of my bears.
One of the bears. We got the best bears here.
We do.
Our wonderful chief of communications, or I should say communications officer, anti-derivative Jill. We love you, Jill.
Whee! Have a good weekend, you crazy, wonderful, beautiful nerd. You know I love you.
While we're speaking of the crew, of course, hail a great Mark D with a C, but you already know he's here, or for our chief engineer. Thank you, Mark, by the way, for that. Thank you for the clip. He gave shout out to Mark for the clip there.
Yep. I don't want anyone to get probed.
No probing. Yes. Phantom Outsider. Phantom Outsider, buddy. Thank you for being here, bro.
Night.
A new face. We have a bunch of new faces popped in tonight. Eric Carroll. Eric, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yep.
My old buddy, your Muslim uncle, popped in. Good to see you there, my brother. Peace be upon you.
Night, fine, sir.
He popped in for a second at the beginning. I saw him, so he gets named Parrot Head, you old rascal. Good to see you.
Margaritaville.
The magnificent, hungry for satire to have some bite again, said Barnabas Collins, meaning hungry boy.
The best.
And he's wearing that Barnabas Collins as sort of a tribute to our dear friend Steve Mitchum, who's still fighting his illness. He's not here tonight, but everyone, please put an S in the chat for our wonderful friend Steve, who's not feeling well because he's not here tonight. But we love him, and we love you, brother. So
we love you, Steve.
Well.
Get better soon, honey.
The great Mr. Tickle Trunk, you brother, stepping out to Eden, yay, brother. Snortapoopus, or more better said by number 1.
Snortapoopus!
Cuber!
He loves that. I believe the wonderful Felicianos had to depart, but the great Sandra and Raymond Feliciano.
Thank you for being here.
Indeed. And they call him Scuba Pete. Scuba Pete got snapped. They got smacked upside the head a couple times tonight.
Scuba Pete!
And Leslie.
Goodness, thank you, Scooby. And Leslie, the lovely Leslie, of course. Mazurus, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate
Mazurus, what a good friend you are. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting Clubby's channel and this show.
Kal-El, buddy, the real Superman. All right, bro.
Yes. Good night, Kal-El.
I think he had to leave, but our good friend J-Man, who has an extraordinary channel. We love J-Man. He and Sean over there. That criminally undersubbed and underviewed. You guys got to go check out his channel. He's a great fellow and a good buddy, and we will be hanging out with him a lot.
Yes. Agreed. Totally agreed.
Michael Beacom had to run, I believe, but hail Michael Beacom.
Yes. Wonderful comments tonight.
Indeed. Tyrell72, my friend. Thank you.
Have a good weekend, Tyrell. Thanks for being here.
And of course, you cannot have, it just can't have any. I don't think you can have a stream on YouTube ever without the bronze wrencher himself, the great Eric K.
See that wrench? That's strategically placed. Otherwise, other men wouldn't even go on YouTube anymore. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you, Eric.
You make me not want to show that when you say that.
Well, I like it because I think it's funny. And I think Eric gets a kick out of it.
We love you, Eric, brother.
Love you, Eric.
One of our other many wonderful bears, Enigmatic Drop Bear, buddy. We appreciate you.
Excellent comments tonight.
Always the best. Great comments and stuff. Pleasant Valley Picker, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Night, BC. Have a good weekend.
Mr. and Mrs. Dad Man Walking, our wonderful friends. Absolutely great to see you, my friends. Chuck Marble, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, sir.
Night, Chuck.
Mr. Angel, appreciate you, Chef.
Night, Chef.
The lovely, the beautiful, the magnificent Sherry baby.
Beautiful
Sherry
lady.
baby. Another beautiful lady. Six, we love you, Six.
Hey, love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
The great Midnight's Edge After Dark, as in the great Tom Connors popped in earlier. I don't know if you're still there, Tomo, but appreciate you, man.
Night, Tom.
Always an honor to have you stop by, sir.
Love you. See you.
Love you, brother. Good to see you there. TMF, the great toxic man flu. Thank you so much. And Mrs. and the Mrs.
And Mrs. TMF. She's often in the background. Love you, TMF. Thank you so much for supporting Clobby's channel. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much for the super chats tonight. And also the hysterical dad jokes and puns. You're the best. And I appreciate you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Captain Trek, thank you for stopping in. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Thank you. Hope you're doing well.
Trek.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Monkey Jeebus popped in, buddy.
Monkey Jeebus!
Yeah. James Caserta. Hello, hello, hello.
Night, James.
Tiki of Doom.
Tiki of Doom!
She likes that name. Oh, my goodness. JT Kirk, buddy. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Night, JT. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show.
Keely Chow, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Papa Delta Yankee, thank you. Another new face. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Mega Cropper, always a pleasure. Thank you, Mega Cropper.
Have a good weekend.
Brandon, the anime guy. Good to see you, buddy, as always. Thank you for popping in, my friend.
Yeah, and for the super chats and for just supporting the show. You're a good friend. Have a good weekend.
We appreciate you, buddy. Wolfie, 762. Wolfie! I don't know. Is he on now? Cool. I love Mead Radio. Please, after this, everyone go Mead Radio.
Head over to Mead, yep.
Yeah. Captain Marty Spock popped in, my buddy. Good to see you.
Good night.
The great Rod Thunderheart, buddy.
Night, Alberta.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Where am I? Okay. Canadian Spidey. Dude. Good to see you, man. And stay your ass indoors, man. I'm going to have to come up there and smack you around.
Right.
I mean it, man. Don't make me come up there. Because I will, you know it.
The thing doesn't want to have to use the Fantastic car.
I'll do some clobbering on you, boy.
Yeah, TMF is saying that he's going to go see Tom. Yeah, well, as soon as you go over to Tom, make sure you say it's a Clobbering Times raid.
Yeah, it's a Clobbering Times raid. If you guys go over there, and of course, you might want to wait for just a second here. We're almost done. We're going to have our wonderful intro outro if you like that sort of thing, because we like it. We're proud of it. But yes, if you do go over there to Tom's Mead Radio, which I suggest because I love it, Clobbering Times raid on the man. Pop culture. We got to do it. You got to do it after a show's over. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think. Or maybe I don't know. Pop Culture Republic. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for being here.
Zathras. Always a good to see you, sir. Crap. Matthew Pounder, my friend. Thank you, buddy.
Night, Matthew.
Snail Messiah. Thank you.
Night, Snail Messiah.
Another new face, Heat Sinker. Thank you so much, Heat Sinker, for being here.
Reminds me of the song Heat Seeker.
Yep, except it says Sinker, but
is it Sinker? Ooh.
I think it is. Oh, there he is. He's still with us, Canadian. Hey, it's Canadian Spot, dude. I'm telling you, man. Don't make me come up there after you. We love you, man. JD Lewis, thank you, brother.
Good night.
J25.
Good night.
And I'm honored to see for the first time pop in there, Mr. Drunk 3PO, sir. You were a legend and a great fellow, and I appreciate seeing you. I'm very honored to see you here and have a wonderful
Drink lots of water,
weekend.
but then oil yourself afterwards.
This all about feels so good. Thank the maker. He's Rogue Disney. It was an honor to see you, and I want to say I am as happy as I can be to see one of my best friends in the whole world that I've known for decades. He's a superhero to me, and I love this man like a brother. He is a brother to me, and that is Ace Cast Iron popped in. If you're still here, you're still hearing me, brother. I just love it. I know you're a busy, man, so anytime you pop in and say hello, it does my heart good, brother. And I miss you, man.
Agreed.
And so good to see you, and I hope you're doing great, brother. And now, everyone, of course, kudos to the wonderful, my wonderful first officer, R.M. Raquel Briggs, for this beautiful intro outro that she made for me so well back. And we got it here through some help from Mark D with the CR chief engineer. Thank you all so much for another wonderful Saturday night Star Trek. All kind of stuff coming up. And of course, a week from tonight, we'll be back here, same Trek time, same Trek channel. There are episodes up there. Thank you, Jill. We love you all. Clobber on, clobberers, and Trek on, trekkers, and all that stuff. Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.